streaming this motherfucker. Oh, I was going to tell you, Temporal Distortions is about to be no more.
Where'd you hear that?
Ben.
Why'd you wait till we started the stream to tell me that?
I was trying to tell you earlier. Anyway, Sosa's going to be moving.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, to New Mexico.
Yeah.
With his wife.
Damn. Oh, well.
Yeah, which frees up Ben.
So you gonna start something with Ben?
Maybe. I don't know. I hung out with him last week. I went to a park in Azle to hang out with the in-laws.
That sounds weird. The only thing I know that happens in parks in Azle is meth exchange.
I thought you were going to say Gateway Park and butt sex.
No. 100% meth exchange is all I know. And
yeah, it's like, is there more meth in Azle or Spring, or what's the town right
Springtown.
next to it? Springtown?
Yeah.
Or right in between.
Yeah.
Between both.
Yeah. I worked in sales for many years, and at one time I went to Azle to.
Oh, you're not doing bathroom remodels anymore?
I teach it now. Like I don't really.
Oh, cool! You're an instructor. Cool.
Yeah, I don't really do much of the sales as much anymore, just because I like to be home at night since I have a kid, and not be gone. But
yeah, that's understandable.
One of the first times I went to Azle in my life, because I never had a reason to go except for work, I was in this house to sell, a remodel, and it was kind of a quirky house, and this lady who owned it, she seemed at first kind of cool. Like she looked like very like kind of rockabilly chick. I was like, okay. And then she had like a couple like punk things. I'm like, all right, maybe this is cool. Anyway, I wound up selling her like a $15,000 shower. I'm like, cool, made a sale, this and that. And her dog comes up to me, and I'm like, hey dog, what's your dog's name? And she's just super casual. She's like, it's Adolf. I'm like,
whoa. Okay.
It's your dog? Like what? I thought I misheard her at first. She's like, yeah, it's Adolf. And she's just like no big deal. And in my head, I'm like, this is a really weird name for a dog. And then I started looking around, and I started noticing little shit. And I was like, fuck, this is weird now. But, she's 2 minutes away from handing me a $15,000 check. I need to get out of here. And it was, that was the first time I ever went to Azle in my life. And it's just, that's my impression of Azle forever now.
Wow. Well, Dustin has his old tropes about it, especially 199.
Yes.
Carpet bombing, which they fucking shut it down again.
That's what I heard.
The stretch that they just opened up.
I heard I was supposed to make a call tonight. I have the phone hooked up. All right, let's start this show up. The intro's a little long, but we'll start it up.
I'm ready.
It's kind of funny. I found something out of the archives, and it's fitting for today. Susie's in the chat room. All right, here we go.
And that's tomorrow, and that's it for us today. Okay, I don't know whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We're going to do the Jerry Jonestown Massacre, yeah?
But I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay, ready?
There's no words there to play us out. What does that mean, to play us out?
The Jerry Jonestown Massacre is going to do it. It's a podcast.
What is?
The podcast.
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does it mean, to end the show? All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that's... God damn it.
And again. 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that's it for us today, and we'll leave you with... I can't do this. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No, we'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. I can. I'll write it. We'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
And 5. He didn't get as mad as Bill O'Reilly. 3.
It's his birthday today.
That's tomorrow, and that's it for us today. I'm Seth. Thanks again for listening. We'll leave you with the Jerry Jonestown Massacre, where they cut off their new episode. Take it away, guys.
Which podcasts are you listening to?
Yes. Oh, my God. Jerry Jonestown Massacre.
Which accounts are you subscribing to?
You guys went to the fucking computer radio show? What the fuck? Nobody fucking listens to the computer radio.
I'm interested, like, genuinely.
Fuck Tuesday. Fuck this podcast.
This episode of the
Jerry Jones Massacre
is brought to you by
Geist Note
and
Victor Wrench
and Plastic Object.
The Jerry Jonestown Massacre contains graphic material, including offensive language, partial nudity, and completely ridiculous thoughts and opinions that shouldn't be expressed or shared by anyone. Listener discretion is advised.
And now coming at you from the Temple of I, just on the outskirts of where the West begins.
It's the Jerry Jonestown Massacre!
Well, I'm locked up in this jail cell and I can't get out of my hotel. Got a roommate that I can't stand. He's locked up for being in a fan. Some crazy story about killing some man. next to me hung himself just yesterday. Crazy shit going on in here, and I don't think that boss man don't care. No, he don't care. Well, I don't get out of here real fast, and don't know much longer. I last in this concrete cave full of rage, and I'm going crazy, I'm going insane. So I spend my days just thinking about different ways of breaking out. I'll change my face and my hair, go live in some tropical place somewhere out there.
It is show 618, Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. Happy Tuesday, Matt.
Happy Tuesday, Dustin.
And happy Tuesday, Kevin.
Happy Tuesday. Thank you for having me out here.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, man.
Been ran into you Friday, was that Saturday night?
Yeah.
It was like, man, Kevin's never been in the studio. He needs to come over and hang out with us.
Yeah, I was hyped.
And you're like, yeah, I want to come over. So we lined it all up, and it turns out you're sitting in stub seat tonight. So you have very big pants to fill, or shoes to fill, or whatever.
I tell myself that every time I put on my regular pants.
Well, we're opening with Whiskey Dick because this song has been stuck in my head since Saturday night.
Yeah, when they played.
Yeah.
It sucks I missed it.
Why didn't you come out?
I had my kid this weekend, and I had a fucking adventure of a time going to a Korean barbecue / hot pot place.
I was going to say a hot box place.
No.
Like...
We were there like way longer than we should have been.
Oh.
And it took us an hour to get there, but that wasn't my fault. Shelly fucked up and put the wrong address in. Yeah.
So what'd you do? End up on one side of town and it was on the other?
Yeah, it was actually in Plano, and she put in the city as Dallas instead. And instead of just searching up the business name, she just put in the address instead, but she put it in Dallas instead of Plano.
Did you wind up where people might know who the Commodores are? And did you have to ask for directions?
No, didn't have to.
From some guy at a broken down Lincoln?
Oh, shit.
From the Cousin Marvin?
Cousin Marvin?
Yeah. You don't want directions from me. I'm from Chicago. You're on vacation.
Nobody needs to do that anymore, not with smartphones.
Oh. Yeah, so today is the 11th. We have a few birthdays we need to throw out. One of them being our buddy Jeff Lord.
Yep, that's today.
And then the intro of the show, the very first part, was Seth, old member of JJTM. It's his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also the birthday of Vinnie Paul, if he was still alive.
Oh, it is?
That's right, yeah. He would have been 61.
And what's very weird is on his birthday today, they released the Vinnie Paul cookbook.
Really?
Yeah. Right. I thought that was weird. I was like, why did it take so long for them to release a cookbook for him?
What did Vinnie Paul like to cook? I guess I'm not privy to Vinnie's cuisine.
Well, the title is called Drumming Up an Appetite with Vinnie Paul. Cooking Hostile with the Pantera Damage Plan Hell Yeah Legend. And as I'm looking through this little press release here, we do have the table of contents.
Okay.
Sweet.
So it starts off with main courses, reinventing the meal. So bacon wrapped hot dogs,
so many puns.
Barbecue sauce cheeseburgers, London broil, pork and pork chops, ranch steak, Texas style Philly cheesesteak sandwich, world famous grilled peanut butter jalapenos, badass BLT, lobster Texas style, and rockin' pork tacos. And then chapter 2 is sides and apps far beyond kitchen. And I'm kind of...
That was pretty good.
I was kind of upset with the appetizers because I was hoping they would have pun names, or the main courses would have pun names.
Yeah.
We finally get into some in chapter 2, like Black Sabbath shrimp, which is not even a pun. It's just Black Sabbath shrimp.
That'd be cool if we had like an Asian themed cuisine, and you call it wok.
See,
there you go.
We're thinking. Cherry bombs, crazy corn, cream of roasted red pepper and tomato soup. Vinnie Paul's world famous stuffed jalapenos. which I guess are different from grilled peanut butter jalapenos
Hmm.
that are also world famous. Lemon pepper chicken wings. Yeah, it's just weird stuff. Hell yeah, pickles. My mom's famous pea salad. Stuffed mushrooms, and then chapter 3 is a vulgar display of flour, the desserts.
Oh, I've seen that as a pun before.
Evil barbecue baked apples, orange craze,
Pantera bread.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, that's the meme I was
See?
talking about. Yeah.
Big Easy banana pudding, low carb cheesecake, low carb pie crust, and the best Hawaiian dessert ever made. And that's it.
Never met Vinny, but he always struck me as someone that like he could order like a bucket from KFC, but mostly just eat the skin and like he's cool with it.
We used to see him all the time up at Broncos.
At Broncos, yeah. I saw him and
go to
Rex at
Broncos all the
Broncos.
time.
In Bedford?
For a
right.
Whiskey Dick
Yeah.
show, of all things.
Yeah, he used
Yeah.
to come up there like on the Thursday nights, the old school Thursday nights where all the bands before the internet. Well, I guess the internet was going, but it was all message boards. But before, social media and all that, when all the bands would link up to book shows together and stuff on Thursday nights, he'd be up there hanging out and listening to, what are they called? Velvet Love Box
Oh, yeah.
with all of us.
That used to be their place, too. Well, them at, what was that? Sparks. That's still their place, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that Rockin' Tacos place that I went to, that was owned by Dwayne Tyree, they only lasted 6 months. They shut
Is it
down in
already
December.
closed?
Yep.
Okay, so my story with that joint is because he's the guy that owns the recording or the music
Platinum.
Platinum Studio. He opened up that taco joint. We went in there for lunch, and the two ladies that were working both had ankle monitors.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, this is either going to be great or terrible. And it wasn't that great. The
Makes me
tacos
think
were
that
not
that's
great.
like workplace servitude,
Yeah.
the way you describe it.
My partner at work was like, "Did you see her ankle?" And I was like, "No." He was sitting in a way where he could see her walk away. He goes, "Pay attention next time she walks by." And I looked down, and then the lady that brought out our food also had one on, and I was like, very interesting.
Maybe they were in cahoots.
Maybe they were.
And that's why they were ankled up together.
Maybe they were.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Also, a shout out to our boy who hasn't been on the show in a long time, but our boy Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, Sasquatch.
Yes. He needs a few T's and P's, so we thought we'd throw them out to him.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So big shout out to him. And then tomorrow's your birthday.
It is.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Happy early birthday.
46.
Yeah. I forgot to get you cake.
Yeah.
Candles.
I have been on here for past birthdays. My 40th one actually was here.
When did we go to Vegas?
That was for my 40th
That was
birthday.
the 40th?
It was like a
Okay.
week before. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Why didn't we go to Vegas this year?
I don't know. Maybe because you just came back from NAM and
I'm open
I've
to
got-
go anywhere at any time. You just got to tell me.
Okay. And I already have 2 other trips planned, both in May. I'm going to go see Guar and Static X in Albuquerque with my daughter for her high school graduation present. And the first week or second weekend of May, Shelly and I are going to Atlanta to this place called Urber Castle. It's like an hour north. You remember I told you about that place that used to be in Utah called Evermore? It's like an immersive, like almost medieval park, but it's also interactive.
Y'all went as a full family and played.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
did stuff.
yeah. We went with Kenneth, Shelly's brother, and his wife Kim. And anyway, but this place is pretty close to that. So since Evermore shut down last year, I thought this would be a great opportunity to see this place for the first time because it's just opened up.
Do you get all LARPed out, wearing your costumes and stuff? And
I don't think I'm going to go in costume.
what about everybody else? Are they going to go in costume?
I mean, you can wear costumes if you want to. I mean, it's
Are
encouraged.
You going to walk around and go, lightning bolt, sleep, lightning bolt, sleep, lightning
Shit,
bolt?
what was the name of that movie? Knights of Badassdom. That's right. Peter Dinklage was in that. It's about a bunch of LARPers who actually have to fight real demons.
But that was from a meme video, right? Where someone was just in the park
Yes.
playing. And
that reference you're referring
Yeah.
to, yeah.
yeah.
There's also the Guild, too.
I always like the LARPing scene in Role Models.
Yeah.
That was great. They were like dressed up all as like members of KISS.
Yeah.
Like I was like that looked like
That'd
that
be the
looked
way
really
to do
fun.
it.
You know, underrated movie.
That is a very underrated movie. I saw it once, and then one time I went to have my car worked on somewhere, and it was showing in the waiting room. I was like, I forgot how great this movie is.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah, showing up with that giant
Oh yeah, that
4x4 pickup truck,
the like energy drink,
drink.
It's like a bull or whatever, and they had like their own little thing. Is like he misses your whispering eye, and they're like
Whispering Eye.
I forgot about that. The Whispering Eye. Yeah, that movie is great. Isn't that what's his name from the nerd from
from Superbad.
Superbad, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, him. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, McLovin. But
yeah, McLovin. I can't remember the actor's name.
Nah, it makes me feel bad.
Damn.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is. So you gonna do anything else for your birthday?
For my birthday, yeah, like I said, we're gonna go to.
You gonna get woken up in that special way?
Maybe it depends on if she's in the mood.
Is she in the chat room?
No, she's not. Anyway, but as I
Should
mentioned,
I text her and go get in the chat room.
We're gonna go to Babe's Chicken over here for dinner, and then Electric Starship Arcade and in Haltom City after that. My favorite free play arcade.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the show. I've never been there.
Yeah, the place is super rad. And they got all these badass murals on the wall too from old video game characters and stuff. And they even have like a projector that displays nothing but 80s movies like the entire time. And they have a stage that bands play on too. It's like a tiny stage like Dog Star Cafe like size. And it's called the I can't remember the name of the place where the stage is. But the sound booth is like up like it's where the AC closet is at the top of the place, and it's called Space Jail.
So okay. I was gonna say the stage isn't inside Electric Starship Arcade.
No, it is. Yeah.
Okay, it's just called
Starship's
area.
Theater. That's the area that's in.
Yeah, $12 to get in. Oh, it's spring break this week. That means there's gonna be a bunch of rugrats running around there.
Not after 8. 8 they kick everybody out that's under 21.
Oh, they do
until midnight. Yeah.
Good. Do they ever have any, some Eyes Wide Shut orgies and video games going on anytime?
If that shit happens, it's after they close. But I'm not privileged enough to partake in those sort of things. I know who the owner is, but I don't want to say we're on those kind of friendly terms.
I like that their website lists all the games they have in there.
Oh yeah, and the guy that runs
By
the place,
category.
Mike.
It's really nice.
Yeah, Mike Watts, the guy that runs the place, he posts videos all the time as far as restoring cabinets and like new ones he gets at auction and all this shit. And he's also got a sister location called damn it, the name escapes me. It's run by the 8-Bit guy. He's a famous YouTuber. It's in Bedford. Damn it, the name escapes me. Shit. He plugs them all the time.
I don't know, but the only thing I care about this category right here, pinball. Ghostbusters, Foo Fighters, Godzilla, Stranger Things, Deadpool, Jaws, Labyrinth, Pulp Fiction,
Mandalorian,
and Guns N' Roses. It's not in there anymore. You don't have Mandalorian anymore.
Oh.
They have a Labyrinth pinball machine?
Yeah.
I hope one of the holes is like or not one of the holes, one of the flappy pillar things, or whatever they're called, is where like the Goblin King's junk is, you know?
Oh yeah. that would be
amazing.
It's so prominent, allegedly.
Oh, our old friend Apache's in the chat. He's going tonight.
Oh, he is.
Electric
Sweet.
Starship.
I didn't see him on Saturday either.
That's shocking. He's like one of their #1 mega fans.
Yeah, so your birthday's coming up. Are you done with the studio? Because you went in the studio last week. And
yeah, and actually that was a rehearsal, which I told you over text. The actual recording time for Josh Reed's second EP that I'll be doing bass tracks on is Saturday and Sunday during the afternoon.
This week?
Yes.
During your birthday weekend? After you're going to go get just tie one on over at the arcade, you're going to show up in the studio?
It's 4 songs, and it's not like I'm playing prog rock with all kinds of fucked up time signatures. I mean, come on, this is Josh we're talking about.
So why did y'all need practice?
It was really for Billy Hildreth, my across the street neighbor, formerly Bruce Magnus, who will be laying down the drums.
Is it just y'all three?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm
excited to hear that.
Yeah. Anyway, it'll just be a recording, and I mean, Josh hasn't in any kind of place to like do the full band thing again. So, he's taking advantage of this time while he can.
So he'll record it and then release it, and we'll never get to see it live?
Most likely. That's what happened with his first solo release.
Damn.
Yeah, which is
What if we
unfortunate.
want to see it live? What if I want to see you play bass? Billy play drums again?
Unless somebody wants to take AI video images of us and have fun with it. make a virtual or hologram
Do a
based.
hologram.
Puppet based.
Well, I got the stuff for that, but I don't know how to make puppets. I just perform with them. God, I'm opening myself up so bad in so many ways. But Denver Williams, he has a puppet band too. I mean, they're like split personalities. I mean, like alternate versions of every member of his band.
Yeah, I can't figure this out. Is this full-time puppetry or is it just for music videos?
What he's doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are
I'll have
they
to ask him.
live? Are they doing live gigs? Last few times I've seen him do live shows, there haven't been puppets involved. But like the Tulip show, there were puppets there. So I don't know. Have you seen him lately?
No, not with the puppet thing. I'm learning a lot about the prevalence of puppets since I've been here. I didn't know you were
Probably
doing
'cause of me.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't. I mean, I'm feeling like, man, I'm behind on what's going on.
I mean, you're not really missing out on anything, right? I mean, it is a weird thing.
I guess should we preface our guest since we haven't probably done so? Kevin Weldorf next to me, formerly of the bands Big Heaven, Lindy's Revenge, and the Sex Rhinos, who I've shared the stage with many times.
Oh yeah, that's where we first met back at a was
Yeah, it was whenever you were in the Sex Rhinos and
Yeah.
I was in the Confounded.
yeah.
Yeah, and then the Confounded, well, Josh and I continue on with Josh and the Jet Noise, and then
Yeah.
Sex Rhinos became Lindy's Revenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we used to play a lot at the Grotto back when.
Yeah.
In like us, Confounded, Dangeroo. Like we
Yeah,
used to do all that
Dangeroo,
together.
Bad Blonde too. We played
Yeah.
a couple shows with them.
Those were we did it a lot. That was fun.
Which I think it wasn't that Mike Surdell. Didn't he play drums for Bad Blonde? I think he did. I think Joe told me he did.
I think he did. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Is that the first time I saw him play drums? It's been so long.
Yeah, I know
I
it.
feel like the Grotto years were like, 2 decades ago or something.
I know it's been close since 2017
Really?
or 18.
It's been that long.
Yeah,
That's weird.
yeah. They shut down shortly after the Confounded broke up, which was 2017.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
No. Now it's just like a
We're getting
restaurant or
old.
hotel in its place.
Mhm.
It's that F1 Steakhouse is in its place now.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's not even that great. Or
Mm.
F1 Barbecue or whatever the heck it is.
What is it called? Or I don't know, but
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's not even that great.
Andrew just chimed in about Denver Williams' puppets. He said that someone named Jana made them. They were just used for the release of the single. Okay.
But they showed up
good
at
to
the
know.
awards show at the Fort Worth Weekly Music Awards.
hmm
And then they showed up at Tulips again, I think. So it wasn't just for the single. They keep coming around. So we need to know where this is going. Why don't you get Denver to join Shipped in a Box?
Or Skip to host the FW Weekly Music Awards. I'd fucking love that.
People would go crazy. People would absolutely go crazy.
It's like, what the fuck's a puppet doing hosting? Hey, I've seen worse. Not worse, but also understand the name of the podcast, though. Oh, Yana. Okay, so it's the Germanic J. That's pronounced Ya or Ya.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I said Jana.
Oh, you did.
Susie
earlier?
corrected
I
me.
didn't
She
even-
said it's Yana.
I phased out.
Ah,
I didn't even hear you.
in your face, man.
Yana, yeah. It is Yana. So yeah, speaking of the Grotto and old venues, Friday night I went and visited the Post, the new Post,
The new post.
Yeah.
which is in the old Lola's location on 6th Street.
How was that?
Very interesting. Walking in there, it was very weird. First off,
Yeah.
Surreal.
parking in the same spot I used to park all the time
hmm
for years and years and years and years, and making that walk up to the front door was very odd and very weird.
Yeah.
And then you walk in, and the outside porch is really nice. A bunch of nice tables and chairs and stuff to sit at.
Mhm.
And then walking in the main room, it felt bigger than what I remembered. It felt a lot bigger.
Is the stage the same?
Stage is the same except for the little round wooden
fence
round
thing, yeah.
picket fence thing that's on the front.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just straight across now.
Okay.
Stage lighting's incredible. Everything looks great in there, and had a great time. It was fun. Cutthroat Finches played, and saw a bunch of people hung out, did a bunch of crazy things. But
Yeah.
and it is weird walking out the back door, right into Birdie's.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Birdie still exists on the
Yeah.
the outdoor stage part.
And I guess it's still under Birdie's liquor license because everything I billed was Birdie's. It
Okay.
wasn't
Oh.
the Post.
Yeah, Susie put something about the prices of the drinks.
Yeah, that's my dislike too.
Worse than Tulips, or about as bad.
So before I get all negative here,
I'm sorry.
I was told by a few people this weekend that they really appreciated how I don't beat around the bush with things, or that we don't beat around the bush around here. That we're just straight up and honest about things. We don't make everything to be hunky-dory and happy and perfect, and everything's fine in Fort Worth, and Fort Worth is so great and grand.
No sugarcoating.
Yeah, there's no sugarcoating.
Mhm.
So while the Post new location is beautiful, sounds great. Oh my God, the sound in there is almost too much.
It's better
Okay.
than it was as former Lola's.
Yeah, it's loud as shit. Like to where
cool.
Oh,
all of
badass.
us were looking for earplugs.
But like, is it loud in a good way or
Good.
loud in a painful way?
No, it's loud in a good way.
Because I like loud like that.
I like loud,
Yeah.
and I like clear loud.
Presence, yes.
Because everything is very clear. And a smaller PA footprint, too.
Okay.
Interesting.
Awesome. But it sounds fantastic in there. But it was still like, I want some earplugs just to save my ears.
Yeah.
I always carry mine.
But go to leave, and this is my new pet peeve with Tulips, and there's maybe one or two other venues around that are doing this. Automatic 20% gratuity on your tab. And that pisses me
Oh.
the fuck off.
Automatic. Okay.
Automatic. And that's enough to make me not go back.
Really?
Unless it's a good friend playing there,
Yeah.
or something going on. When you do that shit,
Or touring band or something. yeah.
done. Like that just pisses me off. Tulips, you can work around it because you can go around back and drink
Yeah.
at the
At their smaller bar back there.
at the loadout.
Loadout, that's right.
But yeah, this whole 20% bullshit that Tulips and now the Post is doing, that doesn't work for me. Because not only does it fuck up what I would tip anyway, it's just an unknown thing that when you get your bar and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, especially
How much is on here?
And I wouldn't be paying attention. I'd just be like, damn, this place is more expensive. Then I throw on my normal tip on top of that.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't pay attention. Okay. Wow.
Well, I looked at the amount because I was kind of shocked at the amount for the drinks because they
Mhm.
were kind of high. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. And then I looked down and saw the automatic 20% gratuity. And that shit's bullshit. That almost reminds me of like pay to play bullshit.
Oh yeah.
You know, like those little scams and tricks they used to do to bands and shit.
Including us, Zombies Coffee. Fuck that gut. Fuck Dana and fuck that place.
I never had to do that. We never had to do that.
You're misrecounting the story. Then we'll talk afterwards.
We never did that. The pay to play stuff. There. We were the reason that place turned into a music venue.
I remember the show we played there with you, and I remember we had to sell tickets.
You did.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't. Our band didn't.
Okay, wow. So all this time I thought both of us were suckered into that?
No.
I'm not mad about it. I'm just like surprised.
No, and that's
26 years later. Shit.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday,
Happy
man.
birthday.
No, that was some
Sorry
of
for
the shit-
derailing. I didn't mean to.
No. That was some of the shit we got out of was because of helping Dana turn a coffee shop into a venue. Yeah. But the like the pay to play bullshit and the selling tickets and shit, that is like 20% gratuity is just bullshit. I don't know.
It is.
And it I think in the long run, while you may be getting gratuity from people that don't tip regularly, I still think in the long run, people that tip for good service would tip more than that.
Yeah.
But since I see that on there, nope, done.
Word.
That's all you get. Sorry. Sorry.
I'd be the same way, man.
Yeah, I hate that shit. If it's a nice restaurant or something, I get it. But not at a bar where everybody's over 21.
A bar doesn't.
Everybody's drinking.
I understood it like when it was like a single server having to deal with like a table of like, you know, obscene large table or something just because of all the work. But yeah, at a bar, it's just usually people are tipping more. You know, even if they're sticking with like $1 a drink or extra, it usually adds up to more than that. So,
and we all know the margins on liquor prices and drinks, how ridiculous it is. You know, you're taking a $30 bottle of whiskey and turning it into a $150 bottle is what you're making in profits on it.
Essentially, for the amount of shots you could get out of it, I'm sure.
And then you turn that into, you know, add another 20%. Come on.
I'm in the wrong business.
And maybe those you know, I don't know. If someone's drinking, well, shit, that wouldn't be fair. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, that's aggravating. If they're trying, I don't know why you would just automatically do that. Like what your goal is. Tulip said that the reason they're doing it is because of the underage shows that they have there. But every show I've been to has been 18 and up or whatever.
Yeah.
Or 21 and up. So
I don't even associate, I guess obviously they exist, but I don't even associate underage shows in Fort Worth just because for as long as I can remember, everything was always 21 and up. Like there was very few venues at all that would even do anything less than 21.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way. I forget about that. And, you know, the only one that I remember of is like Aardvark on a Sunday night.
Yeah, Aardvark was always strictly 21 and up.
God.
But they would do it all ages shows like on Sundays.
One of the last Sex Rhino shows we played was at the Aardvark, and it was packed, like, you know, nuts to butts packed, which normally we'd be like super hyped about. That one we weren't because like it was so clear, like there was so many fake IDs just running around, and like we're trying to play this, I don't know, heavier, I guess, blues rock music. We were probably taking it too seriously, but we were like, you know, excited to see like, you know, all of our, you know, music friends and stuff. But then like it was just so like drunkenly underage. The vibe was just weird. So even though it was a really packed show, we were up there playing, just kind of looking at each other like, why does this suck?
I used to like playing shows there, and you know, playing heavier stuff there, and you'd have TCU sorority girls come in there, and they'd get all pissed off because someone bumped into them and spilled their drink on them, and you'd see that. What's going on? I can't.
Some girls came on stage.
What is this stuff?
But we were playing something, and I guess started like dancing, and we were just a 3-piece. We were just like whatever. So we just kind of got out of the way. It's like you can do that, and then like the bouncer guys were taking them off. It was just weird. But one of the bartenders was really cool, and he gave me a really cool. He was wearing a Panther City hat. And I was like, that hat's cool. And he's like, you can have it. And I was like, you're cool. I like you.
Was it like super sweaty whenever he gave it to you?
Probably.
Okay, yeah.
You can have this.
I only say that because Aardvark was hot as fuck in the summertime.
Always hot.
Yeah. Oh my god! I remember seeing an old picture of us in the Confounded on stage, and I was wearing a green Utah shirt, and it was just drenched from like the top half alone from sweat.
That may be one of the only venues I ever played shirtless at.
Hell yeah.
There or outside of Lone Star Country Club during the summer.
That place.
Back when I was in my way skinnier days. way skinnier. Barely weighed.
But not
$150.
Yeah, but not Billy Joe Armstrong carrying you on his shoulder skinny.
That was really, really skinny. That's when people would come up to me and go, Dustin, do you have a substance abuse problem?
Yeah, that was the in-between area where we hadn't talked in a few years because of your moving and whatever.
Why are you so small?
Last spring,
you should be this tiny.
Big Heaven, we played a show at Tulips that I guess it was an all-8 show. So the bands that we were playing with, they were like from Denton or something, but they were all younger. And I just haven't been, I mean, since I was in my 20s, playing a rock show with other bands in their 20s. You know, a lot of the bands we play with, everyone's in their 30s or up, which is just kind of the scene post-COVID or whatever. But anyway, and these bands were young, and they were really good. But I just remember after we played, and everyone was friendly, we're hanging out in the back watching. There was a good crowd, and I was just seeing all these people like in their 20s, and I just remember feeling like, fuck yeah, cool, finally. You know, it's like younger people are playing music again. Like I didn't
joining the scene, exactly.
I just hadn't seen that in a while. and everyone was cool. Like everyone was friendly, and it was a fun show that night. And I remember that was one thing I distinctly noticed. I was like, whoa, holy shit! It's people, 10 plus years younger than me, and they're back. I was just really excited to see that.
But none of them are drinking.
They weren't.
They're all drinking water.
They were drinking water. Maybe
Liquid
one guy maybe had a beer. Aside from the non-drinking and the youth thing, that's when I was noticing. I was like, oh, these newer bands, none of them have amps.
Yeah.
Which that's cool. I'm not, whatever, do your thing. I'm not there. I probably will never be there. But I was like,
I'm
yeah,
not there.
I'm seeing it in the wild.
I can't be either, man. I like having air pushed behind me whenever I'm
I like
on stage.
feeling it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We talked about this on Saturday night. How that's an aggravating thing.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and but I was just like, whatever, and that was, I guess, me, my head being the older guy. It's like, you kids and your no amps.
You play through your Line 6 pod, direct in.
But that's.
I mean, there's a lot of great emulations, and
I think it's because when they were starting out, when we were playing, they sucked. Like, they were objectively bad.
The Line 6 stuff.
Now they're really
or crates for you and I.
Yeah, now they're really good.
They're really
so
good.
I get it. It's just I just remember the how awful they used to be. So I think it's probably just burned in my brain.
Yeah, and here I am. I'm playing in a band with that has giant amps everywhere. Like, our practice space is full of giant amps and everything. And those two knuckleheads are now talking about going into all-in-ones. And I'm like, you sons of bitches. We're going to get rid of all our,
You're in the back yelling,
all
I
our-
trusted you.
Yeah. All these boutique pedals I bought. Why? Why?
God damn it.
You're supposed
But
to
it's-
bring balance to the force.
Not
It is
shrouded
really
in darkness.
That the Under Oath show I went to 2 years ago, last year, the first show with Better Lovers coming through when they played the Bomb Factory. Like, Better Lovers were the only ones with amps on stage.
I remember you saying that.
All the other bands, including Under Oath, just had like Helix systems and stuff, and it was like, that's so weird. I don't know. First off, I don't trust in-ears 100%.
I've never tried them.
It's
I don't
weird.
have any desire
it's something you got to get used to.
Yeah.
And you got to have someone that's on the ball to make sure everything's tuned to you and what you want coming through them. But I don't trust them 100%, and I like feeling rumbles go through the stage and, blow my clothes off, make them flap in the wind.
Yeah.
I like feeling that. I like knowing that something's going on.
Yep.
Plus,
Feeling the air.
if you want feedback, what do?
Yeah, I guess you have to have that monitor just blasting, which, and then I suppose defeats the purpose of in-ears.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't done it. I don't know.
I don't know. You always just run up to the amp and start making noise, up to your cabinet and start dry humping it with your instrument to make weird racket. How do you do it without?
I know. Sometimes you do that and you don't even want feedback. You're just in the mood, man. You're in the zone.
Yeah.
One time I saw a Periphery at Trees, and both guitarists were using the same cabinet.
Okay.
That's odd.
Very weird.
But, I mean, you can. I could do that with my
8
twin.
speakers.
Yeah.
They just split it in half. It was
Okay.
laid on its side. But I was like, okay, at least you have a cabinet up there.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
It is kind of odd.
Yeah. And
That's
it was
like
in the
shit
middle
that
of the stage.
Bands
and
in
they're
the
on the far
60s
side.
used to do. Guitarists used to share amps like a single amp back in the 60s. Like Rolling Stones actually did that in their early days.
It's just weird.
It is. And didn't your early days of Mobius, the guitarist, shared one amp before? Yeah, Ted and Jared played out of the same one. Jared told me that for a short amount of time he did.
Maybe for practice.
Yeah, for rehearsals.
Yeah, for
Not for
rehearsals,
gigs, yeah.
Not live. Because he showed up with some crate setup.
Yeah, Jared
Oh,
had a
wow.
Crate Stealth 50 and Ted had a Randall Century half
Yeah.
stack.
That weird Randall that we all made fun of. Now we all want.
Well, Jared always used to complain. It's like, yeah, my volume 3 is Ted's 10. He used to say it, like swear on that.
Well, there's no telling. What was that? Solid state or tubed?
The Randall was
Randalls
solid
were
state.
solid state.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it was solid state. So yeah, that would have been right. A hot plate it, whatever. Crank it up, juice it up.
Yep.
Oh, but yeah, the back to the post. I like what they've done over there. I just don't like the drink prices and the 20%.
Yeah.
At least there's
Sounds
a
good, looks
music
good.
venue back, I guess.
Great stage to play on. Lighting on stage was fantastic.
I heard they're mostly going to focus on like more kind of acoustic singer-songwriter
Singer
stuff.
song. Yeah, I read that too.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, like I always thought that place.
Well,
was
the old post was
room
kind of
for
in that
band.
vein too.
Yeah.
The Jet Noise actually played there when we were a duo, which I thought was odd. We played there with the Red Admirals, which was
We wanted to shoot a video there.
yeah.
The
It was a
That
badass
wasn't gonna
stage,
happen.
the
Yeah.
old one.
Yeah, Lindy's Revenge, a band I was in.
Yep.
We got to play the very, very, very first show at the Post when it wasn't even put together yet.
Oh, cool.
So it was basically just like the owners were there and everything. They strung up, the string light things, whatever, and it was basically just like a keg party.
That's cool.
But it was packed and it was cool, and we played that not knowing what it became. So like I was like in my head, I was like, I technically have played the Post, but not what it was before it left, which the stage looked great. But that big giant keg party thing was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah, it kind of stinks if they do stay down that route because with that badass PA they've got in there, it'd be fun to have some heavier stuff cranking on it.
Yeah.
Saw Ugly Muster on that stage at one of their reunion shows when it was still Lola's.
Yeah.
I think I saw you there, and Stubbs.
Mm-hmm. I can't even tell you how many bands I've seen on that stage.
Mm-hmm.
The weird thing that kept popping up in my head the other night was MC 900 Jesus on that stage. And I don't know if it's just because that's the state of mood I've been in lately or what, but yeah.
One of
Seeing
his
the return.
comeback shows?
Yeah.
From a couple of years ago?
With
Mark
the
Griffin?
Methinks, right?
Really?
Yeah, I think so. With the
I don't know how I missed that, because I know he played in Deep Ellum from a couple of his comeback shows.
It may have been like a Huffer Methinks MC 900 Jesus, something like that.
Oh, wow.
Which the North Texas Vinyl is putting his last record out.
Oh, is that right?
On vinyl. Yeah. One Step Ahead of the Spider.
Yeah, that was his major label album.
Yeah. With I Only Had a Brain.
Yep.
Which I like When the City Sleeps. That record, whichever the first one. Of course, When the City Sleeps is a song. That's the one about being an arsonist going around downtown Dallas setting things on fire.
Kind of like a song that you wrote called Demos Diaz, except it involves workplace.
That's about killing your boss.
Yeah.
And then going on the run from the cops. They chase you down to a church and you
have a standoff.
You pray to the altar in the church and then turn around and suicide by cop. That's what that song's about.
Metal.
So metal.
Very metal.
Very metal. And then on Saturdays, we've kind of teased the Cicada 2-year after Lost in Sound, which Lost in Sound kind of got rained out.
Yeah, the weather sucked on Saturday.
The weather really sucks. So they couldn't do the markets and everything. And I guess some of the outdoor shows and stuff were canceled. Did you make it anywhere?
No. What I do all day? I think I just did like, dad stuff all day. And but I definitely wanted to go out that night. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't even realize it was a Lost in Sound day. I wanted to go out because I knew it was Cicada's birthday, and the Infamous were playing. I'm close with Spencer and Riley and them, and I missed his birthday show at the last show at Andy's because I really wanted to go to that.
I wanted to go to that too, and I forgot all about it.
I don't know why I couldn't go, but I was like, okay, but anyway, I'm like, oh, but they're in town and it's there. I was like, I need to go, and I just wanted to get out of the house and just whatever. So that was the reason I went, but it would have been cool to go do some other stuff too. But I guess the weather even then it was all wet and cold and windy and just. Bleh.
It was nasty to be bouncing around. We stopped on our way to the Cicada at the Holly to see Mandy and watch her set, and then headed over to Cicada to see Whiskey Dick and Hen and the Cox. And I had run into Ryan at Helmet a few weeks ago, and he told me that about them playing the 2-year anniversary party And I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'll be there.
I'd never seen Whiskey Dick. I thought they were really, really, really good.
Yep.
So
Go way back with those guys.
Yeah, we all go way, way back with them.
Yeah.
And what amused me was how many people there had never seen them.
Really? Yeah.
And these are songs I've seen probably 10,000 times. And walking in there and like people coming up being like, man, check these guys out. Man, these guys are badass. And I was like, yeah, they are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. It was just kind of funny that like there were 2 or 3 people that came up and were like, man, these guys are awesome. Never seen them.
Nah, I really
Have
liked
you ever
it.
seen them? Yeah.
And to give you some background, Kevin, so of the 2 members of Whiskey Dick, the one that plays lead, Rev Johnson, myself and Matt Stubbs and him used to be in a band called Steadfast from 2001 to 2003. And our drummer, his name was Jesse, used to play for his previous band, I Was One Seaton, that he was also in with Matt Stubbs. So that's
cool.
kind of like the whole circle.
And we used to all do shows together because they had Steadfast, I had Ex Mobius, and the Fritz, the main singer of Whiskey Dick, was in a band called
Speakeasy.
And all 3 of us used to do shows together all the time and run around together and stuff. And then when Steadfast was falling apart, when he left, I was actually supposed to take his place.
That was the rumor.
But then everything fell apart, and those 2 started Whiskey Dick, and this is their 20-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Of doing it. So it's been that long ago that we were all being incestuous in bands together.
Well, it was cool, and I was one of the people you're talking. I was like, I've never seen these guys.
Yeah.
It was cool. But then I remember we were talking about like Mastodon and the guitar player leaving, and you're like, these guys,
Brent.
these
Brent
guys know
Hines.
Brent and stuff, and I was like, oh, weird. So after the show was over, during like one of the breaks, I went up to them just to tell them, hey, it was a good set, and I was actually meaning it, wasn't being one of those people, but I was also like, yo, I heard you got the skinny on maybe Brent leaving. He's like, oh, I don't know exactly, but I got some stories. So we just started talking about that kind of stuff. I just thought that was cool.
That is cool.
They're very friendly, so we were,
Yeah.
didn't know who I was. We just started talking. It was cool.
Yeah, I was hoping to get skinny from them too, and they didn't.
And then it broke in the news. So
Yeah, we're gonna try to get them in. They're at South by tonight, and for a couple of shows this week, which I totally forgot this is South by week.
yeah, it flew under my radar too until I started seeing videos on my feed. Like, yeah, check us out. We're at South by Southwest. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, shit.
totally forgot.
Me too.
I've heard that
Usually I take this week off, and
it's like
make a trip,
almost exclusively about music this year. Like the film presence there is like scarce.
See, I've seen different.
I did see something. I saw that I forget her name, but the Sadie something or other, the one of the main actresses in Stranger Things. She's like in some movie that was they were doing it at the premiere there in Austin. So I saw she was in Austin, like on Instagram or something, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
I saw Disney had a big thing during the tech conference talking about all their new technology they're bringing to the parks. They're doing a new roller coaster that's Monsters Inc. That's supposed to make you feel like you're flying on the door, like in Monsters Inc.
Oh shit!
Oh.
And they're working on AI with more droids to put out in the Star Wars part of the park to be running around
Galaxy's Edge,
doing their own thing.
Oh boy,
which is kind of weird. Like
again, I feel like there's movies where this is a bad idea.
Yeah, I've seen Westworld. I know what happens.
Or Terminator.
Yeah.
Maybe but yeah, that was. I totally forgot about it, and I haven't seen anything music wise yet. Of course, I really haven't been paying attention, but
yeah,
the movie stuff. What's his name? Pascal was down there.
Oh, Pedro Pascal,
promoting The Last of Us, the new one.
Yeah, the next season.
Oh,
come out.
When is that coming out?
I think it starts here in a couple of weeks.
What? Cool.
So what is it? Season 2 or 3?
Season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah.
I never could get into those games. Not the first or second.
I don't have a Sony, so
yeah, PlayStation.
I don't have PlayStation.
I'm not much of a gamer at all, but I really liked the show.
I really liked the show too.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was really cool, and it was nice watching it not being like with The Walking Dead, being like, this isn't how the comic books went.
Yeah.
I didn't sit back with going, this ain't how the video game went. What the hell?
Yeah, no.
But it's a great watch. And if you're not watching White Lotus season 3, you're missing out.
Oh, see, the two shows that I'm really into right now, number one, Reacher, season 3, badass. Number 2, Daredevil Born Again.
I want to watch Daredevil.
Oh, man.
Did they drop it all at once?
They dropped the first 2 episodes of it. And, man, it goes hard. The first episode goes really hard, like in the first 10 minutes. That's all I'm going to say.
So they're also putting out another Punisher?
I've heard that Punisher is going to be making an appearance, if not this season, then season 2.
Well, I heard he's getting a whole special and everything, like either a one shot or whatever.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
So, and I'm like, well, how are they doing that?
Well, here's what I do know. I think they wrapped up principal photography on this season back in 2023, and I know that because one of the minor characters in this season died of cancer in December of 2023. And and they're just now airing it. I just found that out today.
Is what's her name in Daredevil?
Who, Jessica Jones?
No.
Karen.
Deborah.
Yeah, Deborah Ann Wall. Yeah, she is.
She is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, who plays Karen Page.
How's she looking these days?
Still fucking hot.
Okay, just wondering. Like
True Blood hot, or
True Blood hot, or Daredevil hot.
I mean Daredevil hot, obviously, because it's more recent than True Blood. True Blood was late 2000s.
Just asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So South by, that was an interesting talk. How did we get there? We're talking about Cicada 2 year.
Because you said Whiskey Dick was at South by.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get them in here before they take off because they're gonna do another U.S. tour and a Euro tour.
Cool.
So try to get them in before they take off on that.
Yeah. Last time I actually saw Johnson was at the Old Lolos at an outdoor show. It was like a one-off band that Ray from Methinks and Nick Huff from ETA and School Bus 13. That takes me way back.
FTW.
FTW. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ray was on drums and Nick was playing bass. Yeah.
Yeah. FTW's great.
That was the only time I saw him. I thought it was just a one-off gig.
They do. Well, they haven't done a lot of gigs lately, but they do gigs.
Okay.
They did Grotto one night, and no one could see them.
It was just packed.
No, they had like 4 of the Methinks smoke machines in there.
Oh shit! No wonder.
I went outside and they had there was a weird vent on the side of the building. I had to go outside and make a call, and I looked up at that vent, and smoke was just billowing out of that vent.
Shit.
I was like, "Holy crap!" But yeah, you go back in there, and it was like you had to feel your way around the grotto and feel your way off of people to make your way up front. It was crazy. It was the most smoke I've ever seen in there.
Oh, R.I.P. Grotto.
I know.
So yeah, Hen and Cox killed it.
Yeah, they were great.
Totally great, and of course, Infamous great.
Oh yeah.
It's very interesting watching both those bands when they first started and where they are now.
I know. Well,
how much they've grown and how much badass they are. How badass they are now.
Yeah, Infamous used to play shows with the Confounded. Like they played with us at Andy's a couple times.
I played their debut show.
No shit.
The Sex Rhinos and Infamous played at the Cellar, and
R.I.P. Cellar.
And they didn't have a drummer. They had a guy who was playing with them for just that. They played like back-to-back nights, and so did we for some reason. Or anyway, but they didn't have a drummer. They had a guy just playing with them, so they weren't playing songs. They were just up there jamming. So just Riley and Spencer were like, all right, the song's going to just be in D, and they would just do whatever. And Riley's, like writhing around on the floor and doing all that kind of stuff. I think they were just like 20 at the time. I remember Riley had X's on his hands. But, we played the first time with them, and that was just, and then they've been doing it now, among the longest of people still playing, which is cool.
Yeah, I think Spencer came in right before they started getting going. He came in by himself.
Mm-hmm.
One night and was talking about the band he was getting in and getting going, if I remember correctly. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look, but yeah. And then I guess him and Cox were going before Ryan, but I didn't know him until Ryan got in the band and started playing bass for him. And
yeah, they've been around for a while now too.
Yeah. And that was the first time I saw them, I was like, "What the hell is going on? What is this?"
Yeah.
And now I appreciate it, and they sound great and are killing it.
No, and they've stuck to their sound and vibe too. Like it's gotten better and like more refined. But I remember, I think the first time I saw them, I was playing a gig with them. I don't know, like 2016, 2015, something like that. Anyway, but yeah, just the energy and like that real like it was like I was like, is it punk? Is it something wrong? I don't know exactly what it was, but it was you couldn't help but watch, and it was cool.
I think it's good that both of them spent a lot of time in Denton doing things too.
Yeah.
To where they could be themselves and not like feel like they needed to conform to fit into Fort Worth scene.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or to lighten up so they can go play the post.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. But it was a fun night. I had a great time over there. It was good. Good 2-year anniversary party.
That was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. So I got some other junk here.
Didn't Mean Motor Scooter play a show Sunday night that I've also missed? Or am I getting my dates mixed up? I might be.
They played last Sunday night.
Okay, that's what I'm getting confused because I wasn't here last week. Yeah.
At Tulips, I think they.
Yeah, it was
were
Tulips. Yeah, they were I think they just dropped a new single.
And they're like, "Hey,
Oh,
we're
that's right.
Tulips."
Yeah, Joe was talking about that when I was there last week.
Yeah. So I got all this music stuff I wanted to talk to Stubbs about because it really does affect. I wanted to bounce off of him, so he's not here, so we're gonna bounce it off each other. The first one being what we talked about on Saturday, Brent leaving Mastodon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That happened on Thursday or Friday.
I think it was one of those two. I think it was Thursday, but yeah, and
yeah, he didn't take the high road.
I noticed
shocking.
I noticed that I wasn't following him on Instagram, which surprised me. I was like, really? So I started, and he's just been posting like in a story all the time, just an article. Like it's pretty much the same article over and over again, but just posting it a lot.
And a bunch of photos from different photographers that have taken of him on past tours and stuff.
And nothing looked or seemed contentious or anything. It's just I just noticed that he posted that a lot. But from what I've seen, there hasn't been much else that's come out of it.
So what threw me off was they were going to play that show down in the Bahamas or whatever, the Tits show.
Yeah.
Tool in the Sand. And they were going to play that festival. And I was like, so are they still going to play it or whatever? What's going on? That's in 2 days.
Yeah, they got that YouTuber to join them and play.
Yeah, they reached out to the YouTuber. What the hell's his name? I had it up a minute ago.
I saw online a lot of people were like,
I
hey,
forget.
You should get this guy to do it.
I forgot the name too.
Yeah, he's the YouTuber that basically he's a huge Mastodon fan, breaks down all their songs, shows you how to play them and stuff.
So he's going to be filling in for the rest of the tour, or is?
I guess so. But they introduced him, and he.
From what I saw, he just tore it up. Like he was just like, "Hey."
It'll be interesting hearing him sing the songs that Brent sung lead on.
He did sing, which that's what I wonder. Because I'm gonna say live, Brent wasn't a great singer. Like,
yeah, his voice wasn't as refined as
it wasn't
Bill's
great.
But not Bill's. Bill doesn't sing as Braun and Troy.
Yeah,
I liked his voice though. It had a quality to it. That,
I love it too.
Like on the Cold Dark Place EP in particular, the last song where it's just him and the guitar. And this is gonna sound crazy, but for some reason his voice, at least in that song, always gave me a little bit of like. I could tell his melodies. He pulled a lot from Soundgarden. I could really tell that. He doesn't sound like Chris Cornell at all, but I could tell a lot of the inflections he would do. I was like, this sounds like a Soundgarden kind of melody. I know he was a big fan. I could kind of tell. At least I think so.
Well, like I know, like some of my favorite songs, I just wonder if they'll ever play live again, because they were his song or they were him singing.
Yeah.
Oblivion, I guess you get around it.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff from Crack the Sky.
But yeah, just about all of Crack the Sky, So much for a 25-year anniversary
tour,
tour of that.
What?
And then like Colony of Birchmen, you know,
Mm-hmm.
him singing on that, and well, a lot of stuff on Blood Mountain. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. But from the video I saw, this Ben Eller, they introduced him, and he was on the side of the stage and ripped through all the video I've seen, and
Yeah.
he's singing. So
Cool.
I guess we'll see. The joke was that they hollered at him and said, can you learn 17 songs immediately? Because we need to go down to the Bahamas and play a show.
What a badass introduction, though. I mean, come on. How much better can you get than that?
And he learned them, and they played 4 songs for the first time since, well, the Motherlode was 2020.
Yeah.
Ghost of Karela 2019, Tread Lightly 2016, Ember City 2019, and then All the Heavy Lifting 2015.
And 17 songs that quick. I mean, obviously, Mastodon famous for being just your classic 4-chord, 4 on the floor.
Yeah, just
super
real
simple.
easy, super easy.
Basically children's songs.
Yeah,
For the most part.
They
use some
just a
intricate
basic blues
time
solo in
signatures.
C. No big deal.
Every song's 2 minutes.
But it seems to be like there's a divide of people that are happy that Brent's gone, and people are sad that Brent's gone. Like there's a lot of people that are like, fuck him, he's an asshole.
I've
blah,
seen
blah,
a lot
blah.
of mixed comments too. Something about how he hasn't really been engaged the last couple of tours. And in a recent video interview that he gave, someone asked him what his favorite song to play on that tour was, and his answer was the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw it too?
Yeah.
Well, the other thing was, I think it's that same interview, is when he said, when he joined the band, they were a heavy metal band, and he's not a heavy metal player. He doesn't like heavy metal music. He doesn't listen to heavy metal. He listens to country, and he listens to, folk music and stuff. But he wanted to get in there because it seemed like a bunch of fun with these guys. They were having a bunch of fun, so he's like, yeah, I'll join.
Yeah, I read that, and that really surprised me.
That surprised me too, because
I just didn't know,
like everything that's weird, I felt came from him.
Mm-hmm.
Made it weird, and he kept trying to make them not a heavy metal band, is what he said, and I guess that was a losing battle.
Yeah.
But the to the statement of like the last few tours, he didn't seem into it. When I shot him on this last tour with Lamb of God, when they were doing the Leviathan 25th anniversary, he was not into it.
He was just going through the motions.
He was just going through the motions. My shots from that show, I'm kind of disappointed of him. My shots of him, because you can just tell he's just not into it. He's just out there. I'm playing this. I want to get through the show.
Yeah.
Go on. And thinking back, the tour with Gojira that we were talking about, there was even a little bit of that feeling there, but they were playing a lot of stuff off Hush and Grim, which is very chilled and relaxed, and he's got some crazy like folky country feeling stuff on there.
He does, and because I didn't think of it at the time, obviously, but because I just thought that show was great, but I think I was still coming down the high from that was the first time in my life I had ever even heard a Gojira song. I was telling you about this. Like, I knew who they were, but I just have never heard them before. So my very first Gojira experience of my life was at that show, seeing them live, and my face was melted, and I was like, "This is the best fucking thing I've ever seen in my life." And I was still.
I thought you were gonna say the Olympic opening ceremony. I was like,
no.
What the fuck?
No. That was seeing them.
That's a joke.
Oh yeah, they were co-headlining with Mastodon. My first time seeing anything Gojira, and I was just like so like mind blown that when I came to see Mastodon, but I was still kind of like, oh, this is a great show no matter what happens, So.
And that show, I think, out of all the times I've seen Gojira, that was a perfect show. That show was awesome.
I got lucky.
Yeah. They're always really precise and really good, but that show was kind of perfect all the way around. The sound was perfect. The set list was perfect. The lighting was perfect. Like, everything was just on. And they were, several dates in, I think, at that point. So they were just a machine rolling through things. But, yeah, that was a great show.
Great day for whalecore.
Yes. Total well core. So Brent's got like 9,000 side bands, so he's okay. And like you were talking about in the stories, he keeps showing the super group that he was, I guess, they're putting together. He's been working with, which
Yeah,
is
I saw that some of his homies.
Yeah, what's his name from Baroness? John from Baroness, and
Oh yeah.
Oh, John Beasley?
Yeah, there's someone else that was in there. I forgot who all was in that 4-shot. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But the back to the tits.
Tool in the sand.
A lot of fans are upset at what this festival turned into.
Yeah, didn't Tool just basically play the same set 2 nights in a row?
Well, that's what everybody keeps saying, and that's what
Yeah.
everybody keeps reporting. And it wasn't exactly the same. It was they played 4 songs. Now they were told beforehand that it would be 2 unique nights.
Okay.
Of completely different music each night. But they did copy 4 songs, and I guess these 4 songs are what everyone's losing their shit about. That they
So only 4 songs repeated. So
only 4 songs repeated.
It's mostly then a different night each night then, right?
Yeah, out of a 9 and 11 song set.
Okay.
So you have 4 that are the same, which Tool songs are, 17 and a half minutes each.
No shit.
So that's the problem.
Okay, so it's not as big a deal as it's being made out to be.
It's being made out like when I first started hearing things or seeing things pop up that they were getting booed off stage at their own festival.
What?
Are you
Yeah.
saying that Tool fans are being insufferable? This
Yes,
is news to
what?
me.
Oh, me too.
What?
Who would have ever thought?
I am
Tool
shocked.
fans are assholes? What?
Ah,
But yeah, they were pissed, and like a bunch of people, when it started popping up, people were griping. I paid $10,000 to come down here and see this. Me and my wife or me and my girlfriend paid $10,000 to get down here. Which we were looking at it, and the prices for hotel room were stupid.
Yeah.
But you got the hotel room, the badge. You're staying at the resort where everybody's playing. You get to see the indoor and outdoor shows, and it was like $3,500 to $6,000 for the weekend.
Yeah.
So I guess by the time you pay for airfare to get down there and everything, you're looking about $10,000.
Yeah, I guess when you got that kind of money to spend on a show like that one, I guess you're expecting, whatever. But
yeah. Unless it's held by Billy McFarland, which if you buy a ticket to his second Fire Fest, you're a fucking idiot.
That's so awesome.
Is that on your list, by the way?
I can't believe he's doing that. We
No
talked about
shit.
it last week, I think.
Oh.
So yeah, if you're gonna pay that much, you're probably a super Tool fan, and it's just weird that you would boo your favorite. I mean, who cares? You get to see 4 songs, 2 nights in a row, but you're down there, you're seeing Tool do these badass shows.
Yeah.
And there's other
Twice.
bands there too.
Yeah.
There's other bands. There was Coheed and Primus and
Primus with their new drummer.
Mastodon. Yeah, Eagles of Death Metal and King Crimson wasn't, or most of King Crimson was down there and stuff. So
shit.
Now,
including our buddy Matt Thompson or your buddy?
No.
I don't know him that well.
He's not in King Crimson.
No, wait, that's King Diamond. Sorry, fuck.
So what's hilarious was I was reading through the Reddit pages of all these fans that are freaking out, trying to get to the bottom of it, see what was going on, why all these people are upset, and do I have FOMO or do I not? So I'm reading through there, and this one lady goes, I guess I lucked out, or I guess me and my husband lucked out and didn't, because we didn't have to pay, $10,000 to see, we got to see everything for free. So he's like, well, what the hell? And she goes, we bought rooms at the hotel next door and just walked down the beach both nights and watched all the bands for free, because
that's the move.
Apparently the beach that's in front of the resort had fencing, plastic fencing going up to the stage, but you could just walk up to the plastic fencing and hang out, and no one could tell you to leave because it's a public beach. So the first night, she said they stood there and watched. And the second night, they brought chairs down and drinks and just hung out and watched everything. She goes,
okay. That's fucking hilarious.
she goes, we total paid $1,000 to come down there
Wow.
with our flights in the hotel room and got to see everything for free.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. There wasn't shit that they could do about it
No.
because it's a public beach.
I was like, that's kind of badass.
That is
Kind of really, really awesome.
in your face.
And while we're down on the beach, you weren't here last week. I can't remember if we talked about, but Faster Pussycat on that.
Yeah, about how their is it their
The
lead
sea cruise?
vocalist, his fiance or wife committed suicide on a cruise.
Yeah.
And there's video of it. I haven't seen the video of it.
So that all just came out.
It's
But like
gnarly.
last week, we were like, what the hell happened? And, so what is it? Tammy Downs, the lead singer of Faster Pussycat.
Yeah.
His fiance, they played Faster Pussycat's on one of these, 20,000 tons of steel. We're on the sea, and it's Faster Pussycat.
Yeah, it's a
and
rock cruise,
Warrant
yeah.
and blah blah blah. All these '80s metal bands.
A couple of the I guess the cock rock, like modern rock bands like Shinedown and shit are on them too.
Oh, are there?
So is Plush. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on to Shinedown for a minute because I have questions.
I heard that a friend of mine the other day, sidebar, said Shinedown is just like Creed for chicks.
I know nothing about this band, and I have questions. So today, a report came out. So basically, what happened was Faster Pussycat played a 90-minute set on one of these cruises. The lead singer and his fiance, Kimberly Birch is her name, got into a fight. But it wasn't anything big. It was just a little disagreement, argument, and some people saw it. And she went back to the room, and next thing you know, there's a call for man overboard. And apparently they stopped the ship and turned around and went back to find her. Called in the Coast Guard and everything. Like they did a Yui and went out there looking for her.
Yeah.
Couldn't find her body. So then there were all sorts of questions and allegations and what's going on. And did he murder her? Did he throw her off? Well, finally, I guess the cruise came into port and the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Department acquired all the video on board. And she went back to the room by herself. She had been drinking and her mom was there. And apparently she had been drinking. She normally doesn't drink.
Yeah, I heard she had been sober for a while. That's what I read.
She had been drinking and was just kind of acting a little off. And she went back to the room, walked in there. Video's got her climbing up the rails and jumping into the ocean.
Damn.
Taking a step off. And they still haven't found her body.
Man, you've seen I've never been on a cruise, but seen the videos of when people go outside and you think, oh, you see all the stars and stuff. It's no, it's just black, at night, you can't see the water or anything. It's just solid black.
Yep, that is true.
So when someone falls off,
it's
black. The odds of, even if you do the Yui and flash the lights, it's the odds of finding anyone. It's just next to nothing.
The darkest cruise I went on is the Alaskan cruise, and I was
my parents went on that.
I went out at night because they kill on the whatever it is, the top deck or whatever, in certain areas they kill all the lights so you can see the stars and go out and hopefully see some of the aurora. And I went out there a couple of nights to take a look around. That's creepy as shit because it is dark. And you still have land that you can see to the left or right of you a little bit. Every once in a while you'll see a little cabin or something as you're going through these fjords, making your way up through Alaska. But it was still creepy dark. And I can't even imagine,
makes me think of anybody who ever sailed the ocean pre-electricity. They're just you know what? See all that? Let's go fucking check that shit out. It's no.
No.
And what was it? A couple of weeks ago, there was a kid that was there who just graduated or some shit like that. And they had been partying on a boat. And it was a dare for him to jump in the ocean.
I haven't heard about this.
It was just a few weeks ago, not long ago. And he jumped out into the ocean and was instantly eaten by a shark.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That sucks. I mean, Cool tombstone, I guess. Eaten by shark, but you know,
Who gets the money on the dare?
the real question.
That is the real question.
Yeah. Well, if they were kids, then not their parents, though, because I'm sure there was a civil lawsuit that filed shortly thereafter they
Yeah.
docked to land.
Okay. Well, I'll load this up because this is a long one. What have you been up to, Kevin? What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Like in life, music wise?
In life, music wise, what are you doing?
Well,
you told me the other night, but you know.
Well, music wise, unfortunately haven't been doing too much. That's kind of on my own. That's my fault though. After Big Heaven split up, I guess that was like in September, October. I can't quite remember, but I just didn't realize how burnt out I was. I was super burnt, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the rest of 2024 off, like however 3 months left there was, and then once 2025 comes, I'll start doing some things and see if about playing or whatever. So I started working on some music, just recording everything myself at home, kind of like punk rock or heavier stuff because I've always loved that music, like particularly like punk rock, really shaped me. I got this Joey Ramone tattoo and
Oh yeah,
all that.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, everyone's always like, "Who's that chick?" I'm like, "It's Joey Ramone."
Even I recognize him as Joey
He's
Ramone.
not. But
Jeff Hyman.
Joey Lauren Adams.
You need finger cuffs?
Finger cuffs. But yeah, I was like, I've always loved that music, but I probably knew I was never gonna ever be like in a punk band. But it was always like an itch I never got to scratch. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna record this stuff, make some songs, release like a 4 or 5 song EP, recruit some buddies just to, hey, learn these 5 songs, and because I got my friend Eric manages up at Caves. And he's like, dude, anytime you want a show, just I'll instantly do it. So I could throw something together.
That's one of my favorite holes on the wall to play.
Oh, Caves
is
I love
fun.
playing
Yeah,
Caves.
I've
It's
never
always
got to
fun.
play Sunshine Bar though, right in front of it.
Also fun. I like playing Caves more, but they go hand in hand. They hold hands.
Oh yeah.
So that's been my plan. To just kind of cut this music and do whatever. And then I got so busy traveling for work, and it wasn't my idea. Just had to do it. So, and I've been just procrastinating and not finishing shit. I've been working on, that problem where when it's why I always like a band, not doing stuff myself. Because when you're by yourself, there's no one to tell you no.
Mhm.
So you think everything's a good idea.
Exactly.
But also, I get over, with the band, you could be like, oh, is this good enough? And you could be like, dude, that take's fine. Let's move on. And you're not lying. It's just like, oh, cool. You got someone to reaffirm, like, no, you're good. Like, that was a good take. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you're by yourself, you just keep getting in your own head, and perfection is the enemy of progress. And that is just, me to a T. So I have stuff that I could finish this week if I fucking did it,
Yeah.
So that's really what I've been up to. Not finishing stuff I've started, but the stuff I've started, I think is pretty cool, and I'm happy with it. But I just got to finish it.
I 100% understand that headspace and that.
Yep.
Doing that because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And you'll sit here. I will sit out here and do take after take after take and be like, no, that's it's not perfect. It's not right. It's not right. And then what was funny was some of the stuff I was working on pre-COVID or during COVID, some of the stuff, the Stink Flamingo stuff
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that.
It was 2021, so yeah, I was in the middle of it.
Yeah. I was all being perfectionist on a bunch of things and wanted things to be just exactly right, and then start doing stuff with Uncle Toasty and go over there and record out at Cloudland and just be like, all right, record your bass and do it in one take. And they're like, okay, that's great. And I was like, really? It didn't feel right.
But
It worked.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
sometimes that raw recording, like the last time that was like that for me. It was one of the last 2 songs Big Heaven recorded, Stephanie's song, the song on her last EP, the one that she wrote. To this day has the longest guitar solo I've ever recorded, and it wasn't even my fucking idea, which is weird as like a
Really?
guitar player. I know,
Yeah.
I know. It's Stephanie's song.
funny.
And it's super synthy and poppy, but there was going to be a lead part in the middle of it. And we were in my studio, and she was sitting on the couch, and I was like, all right, well, I kind of had an outline-ish of what I was going to do. I was like, let me just, whatever. So I played through this take, which I thought was just kind of more of like a warm up take, or just to kind of feel it out. And I'm not paying attention. I'm just recording it, and it's anyway. I get done. I'm like, all right, press stop. I look over at her, and she's sitting on the couch, like her face is like this, and she had like a little tear, and she's like, that's what it needs to be, just that, and because it's her song, and she was so hyped, and I was like,
wow,
really? I was like, okay, because I thought I was just kind of not goofing off, but I thought it was kind of shreddy for a Big Heaven song. But she was like, that's the one. I was like, okay. And I even tried I saved it. I even tried a couple other takes, and that was the one that we wound up going with. But it's that assurance in a band of someone else being like, nope, that's it. Like, don't go more. Like, that's all you needed.
That's what you needed.
Yeah, I can relate too.
Where did all these guys come in from?
Well,
That's why there's a net out there.
The moths and shit.
Oh, it kind of came off. I see. Yeah, we get them off. Yeah, that's one of the things I loved about latter Big Heaven was getting shreddy and solo-y, and things were getting like a little more punky and heavier.
Well,
and it was fun.
It was a lot of fun when I joined, or when I was asked to if I wanted to be part of it. I was super excited because I liked the music and I was excited to do something like that. But I remember telling Mandy, I was like, "You've heard me play, right? Like you've heard my other bit. Like I'm a look at me, guitar player."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool." And I was like, "Okay." So I was surprised with how much initially. I was surprised with how much, and I especially the old songs. My thing was like, I want to keep these. I'm not trying to change anything. I'm trying to make serve them live, whatever. But they gave me a lot of range. Like, no, do this thing, do that, and and go for it, and do some leads and stuff. And so it was a blast.
There was one show, and I think it was at Shipping and Receiving / Distribution Bar or whatever.
Lost in Sound thing?
Was it Lost in Sound, or were y'all just there playing? I don't know, but it was, you went on a shred trip, and it was so much fun. And I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was Lost in Sound. I remember
that. Was it that one?
Yep, I remember that.
Okay. Yeah, and I was like, that was great.
That was Stephanie's song, probably.
And y'all were all up there, having fun and just letting it rip, like you said. A look at me guitar. See, here I go.
That's that's why I never picked up guitar, because I was like, I really love that rhythm player, which is cool. I'm like a stereotypical guitar player.
Yeah,
I just wanted to tear it up.
Well, so how long are this little self-imposed break you're on?
I don't have a time. I was approached by a couple different things. Like I remember one night I don't know, I think I was in my feels. I was drunk, and I was like posting on Facebook. I was like, I'm a free agent. I want to go do something. I was like, I'm out there. And then I had a bunch of messages, and then I just never did anything with it. And I've been approached by a couple things that I think the people are super cool, and I really like them. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to just play in something just for the sake of playing. Like if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to invest the time it takes to do it, because the older we get, prioritizing our time gets harder and harder.
It can, yeah.
And if I'm going to, for me to put in the time that I would want to do with music, I would want to do it right. Like putting in, I don't want to half-ass it,
Yeah.
So I didn't want to just jump into something just for the sake of I'm playing. It's like, no, I wanted to do it. That's why I enjoyed being in Big Heaven, because I really liked it, and it was all the attention that I gave to it was, at least in my mind, it was like this is proper. Everyone was in a very similar space, so it was a lot of fun. So if I do something else, I wanted to make sure I kind of go about it the same way. I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm not. I don't want to pigeonhole myself and I have to do this or I have to do that. I have to do that. Whatever happened will happen. But I think first I just need to finish the stuff that I'm working on. I sent you a song that I'll check it out later.
Yeah, I'll listen to it on the way home.
And
send it over to me, because you were gonna play me something the other night.
Sure, I will. It's short. It's just
and
like
you know how crazy it gets.
It's a punk rock thing. It's not very long.
Well, who knows? I may reach out to you to
here,
lay some blistering on.
Your email, because I don't know it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just forward it to you.
Do that.
Yeah, it's just like right now. That's like a 3-minute instrumental. But I played. The hardest part was playing the drums, because I started out as a drummer, but
I know you have a drum set. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Drums are my first instrument. Drums are my natural instrument. I just like to play guitar more. But I always stayed good enough to where I could do I could record anything I wanted by myself. Or if I was playing with the drummer, I could always, if they weren't doing something, I could kind of suggest or show them something. So drums are my first instrument, but I've always been, guitar is where my passion was.
That's kind of awesome. I wish I could play drums.
Drums are blessed.
I can program drums.
They're expensive.
Yeah, I can program drums too, and I'm like lower intermediate, I would say, as far as my
I can
skills
MIDI
go.
the shit out of drums, and I can make them sound pretty realistic. But there are times I've even had an electronic kit over here. I mean, there are times I've wanted to sit back there and just be like, "Oh, this will be so much easier if I could just whip it out real quick instead of mapping it." And then I can go in and fine tune. But
Miking drums is hard. For my last couple songs I did for Shipped in a Box, I just gave up and went with the Glennis Johns technique, which is like bass, overhead snare, and I went with that. It gives it a really big sound, but it's not as precise as like hearing it at the mic'd individually at a venue.
I just do 4 mics. My home studio, it's such a dead room. Like, it's cool when friends come over and we shut the door and we start talking and they're like, whoa, because there's no echo at all.
Yeah.
So I'll just use 4 mics, but I know exactly where I want them, and I've done it enough to where like I can get a really sound that I'm happy with, and it's not too splashy, there's not too much bleed, and it works out. But just because that room is just so dead, which is fun.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just open Superior Drummer, pick the drummer I want, and be like, all right, here we go.
Oh, I just use the drum MIDI track on Logic Pro. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've gotten better. At first they didn't sound good, but now they sound pretty damn good.
Even for like generic drum patterns / drummers for particular styles, which is kind of cool if you don't have any knowledge of that. But I just use the MIDI track.
Then I can say, well, my drums were recorded at Hansa in Germany.
Ooh.
And everybody would be like, ooh, really? Oh, yeah, they were. Technically.
Yeah, the hard part about trying to record everything by yourself, at least for me with like the drums, so that song I sent you, it's pretty fast, but I decided to end the song on like a hardcore like style breakdown. So I was playing to a click, and then it got to that part, and I had to completely ignore the click because I don't know how to program it to change the tempo. So I'm trying to record everything, and I just hear this beep, beep, beep in the background. I have to like pretend it's not happening and just play, and it was a bitch. So it took me probably like, I don't know. I'm impatient with drums. Like if I don't get it by like take 5, I'm like, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah.
So it probably got to that point, but it was hard because of that. It's another reason like I'd rather be in a band because I don't have to just do your thing. I have to do it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It sucks. It's fun, but it sucks.
Well, hell, hopefully you get something going soon.
Yeah. No, I miss.
All your projects have been fun.
Yeah, I miss playing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I definitely miss playing. And just music was always a thing that I always thought, like, no matter what, nobody could take that from you. And like what I mean by that is like, you have a Forerunner, but somebody could steal it and now it's not yours anymore. Like it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Your house could burn down or whatever. Like all these terrible things could happen. But like a musician is like always one thing. It's like, well, nobody could take that from you, unless like you can't. You're always going to be a musician.
True.
So
unless they cut off your arms.
Then I could do whatever, like Jason Becker did, and just do it all in his head, and he had that thing hooked up with his eyes, so he could write music that way,
or be like Rick Allen, or Jesse Lee from the Austin band Dade, but he was actually born without his right hand, so he strums with his wrist.
Yeah, see, gnarly.
I forgot about them.
Yeah.
So
and their side project Kinetics, which 2 of the 3 members of Dade play with.
Yeah, because y'all played with them.
The Jet Noise did as a duo, at Growl Records,
All right, you ready for some controversy?
Go for it.
This was a list that was put out, and it's the big 4 bands of different generations.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this?
No,
I've seen some. I know because it's like referencing the big 4 of like thrash metal, but then putting it in different things. Yeah.
Yeah. So the big 4 of thrash metal were Metallica, Megadeth,
Slayer,
and Anthrax. Yeah, those are the big 4. And if it's the big 5, they would throw in Exodus, right?
I don't know about that.
If you did 5, but okay, so they're doing this by generation. So you want to start with Gen Z or Millennial or Boomer or Gen X?
Let's go Boomer and then just keep on going forward.
Forward?
Yeah.
All right, so
seems to be the easiest thing to do.
I don't agree with this.
I probably won't
I'm
either.
already angry. So the big four of Boomer dad rock bands. You got the Beatles.
Okay.
The Eagles. I 100% agree with the Eagles being in there. Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And the Rolling Stones.
Man, that's my only question is where's the Who in that list? I just don't know.
I guess like if they're basing it off of, I guess suppose their criteria with it,
or album sales, or
I mean, like I feel Zeppelin has to be in there. It's just they're associated with it.
The Beatles,
Beatles,
the Beatles
of
for
course.
sure. Yeah.
I'm a known Eagles not enjoyer. And then, but I was thinking about it too the other day. I was like, do I really hate the Eagles or do I just hate Hotel California? If I'm being honest, it's probably just that song.
Yeah. I don't. I see the Eagles being in there because, like, if I think about my stepdad, that's what he would listen to.
Yeah. If I'm being objective,
my biological dad listened to all of these, so it fits perfect.
Yeah.
And he was fans of all of them. So,
Mm-hmm.
The only one that might switch out is Rush. Might fit in there. In one of them, might like pop out the Eagles, put in Rush.
Yeah, I would think as far as like overall popularity and like record sales, I didn't think that they were going to make the cut because Rush was more of like a cult following compared to those others.
Like
but
people love
for the era that they started in, that is.
But I mean,
these
are
70s.
These are dad rock bands.
Yeah.
There is no criteria about album sales or anything.
That's true. Dads fucking love Rush.
They do love Rush.
Yeah.
So
that's 100% a fact.
I would change out the Eagles.
Hey, they were awesome live in 2002. I saw them.
Like if it was my biological dad, it'd be the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Rush, and the Beatles. If it was my stepdad, it would have been the Beatles, the Eagles, the Stones, and Fleetwood Mac. Like that, it would go that route.
Yeah. But, since you brought back, if it's the big four of dad rock bands, that I forgot about the dad part, that definitely shifts my thinking. And I guess like Aerosmith's, their 70s stuff was pretty small compared to, I suppose, their 80s stuff, wasn't it?
Well, here comes
Okay, here we go.
Here comes the anger in me.
All right.
Gen X dad rock.
Okay.
Aerosmith.
Okay.
I mean, they were just as prominent in our generation as they were in the... actually, maybe even more so because that point they had nearly 20 years behind them.
Well, it depends on when. Okay, hold on. The Permanent Vacation came out when?
87.
Okay. Pump came out
89.
Those were their two biggest records?
I don't know about their biggest. And then Get a Grip came out in 93, I think.
Like right in there was their, I don't know.
Which
I mean, they had huge records in the 70s too. But
yeah, Toys in the Attic. And
Toys in the Attic.
Their debut.
Huh.
Rocks.
Okay. So Aerosmith, AC/DC for Gen X.
They're like on that cusp that like.
Yeah, I feel the same way about them as I do Aerosmith.
Well, because Back in Black came out in 1980.
Yes.
So, when I think of just in my brain, I could totally be wrong, but when I think Gen X, just age wise, the person I think of immediately is Kurt Cobain. And he was born in 67. So
yes.
He would have been 13. I could totally imagine a 13-year-old losing their shit over Back in Black. So if you're going to think of it like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next up, I think is a no-brainer, Van Halen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're thinking about it like that.
Yeah.
When was Kurt Cobain born?
67.
67.
Okay. But I'm Gen X. But it's a Gen X dad. Okay. See, this is where things get thrown off. And then the next one, the fourth one, is Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, I think, for sure. Guns N' Roses did that thing where, like, at least with, strictly speaking, Appetite for Destruction, like, Like if you were into metal, you could also like Guns N' Roses. It was accepted. If you were into punk, you could also like Guns N' Roses. They kind of did that thing where it was just like
Appetite was a huge crossover.
yeah, Appetite just
It was.
It hit a bunch of people.
I think also too
Always.
because when your alternatives were fucking Poison and Enough's Enough and shit
Motley
like
Crue,
that, Warrant and shit like that, then like Appetite was like, oh cool, this is
a bunch
normal.
of pretty boys, and then you have a bunch of dirty guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
That did everything the other way. So yeah, Guns N' Roses, Van Halen, AC/DC, Aerosmith. Man, I just don't know about Aerosmith. Aerosmith doesn't sit there for me.
I don't.
Yeah.
I guess like the albums you're saying, Matt, like that makes sense. But I know that I wouldn't associate Gen X with Aerosmith. That's not where my brain would go immediately.
But I'm a Gen X dad. Like I was born. I am Gen X.
Yeah, I am too at the very end. Yeah.
So like, my go-to would be Nirvana, Pearl Jam.
And Chili Peppers.
Yeah. What else right in there?
I guess like if you could stretch it towards like, all right, if you're a Gen X and you were like a teenager just getting into music, what grabs your attention then versus like Nirvana or whatever, like you're in your late teens, early 20s, that stuff's still, captivating. And especially too when music like that came out, it literally changed everything overnight. I mean, that doesn't happen. So being around for whenever that actually happened in real time.
So in 91, I was 14.
Yeah.
So that's when all that
I was 12.
hit.
Okay, so that makes sense. Like, your prime music sponge years and you get to experience fucking Nevermind, that's incredible.
We had to hunt for Nevermind. Because it wasn't available everywhere.
I saw the interview where they said that DGC Geffen had to temporarily stop pressing everything else on their roster just to print enough CDs to get, because they just obviously weren't expecting that.
The only place to get it on tape or CD was Bill's, and it was Bill's up on what was it? Bill's 3113 Spring Valley up in North Plano, Addison area is when Bill's Records tapes when they were up there before he moved downtown. Yeah. So we had to go all the way out there as 14, 15-year-olds trying to figure out a way.
I got my cassette from Columbia House.
Weird.
I think like who's on that band? I think to immediately get rid of Aerosmith from that list, like I guess in my mind, because Nirvana is still so popular amongst all generations. But if you were to try to peg it as like dad rock, I think Pearl Jam might fit that mold better.
Yeah. Chili Peppers are very dad rock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so at that time, his Blood Sugar Sex Magic was huge.
Oh yeah.
But
that's
then
when
it
I
turned
discovered
into, dad rock. And I was trying to think of a fourth. Could be Tool, because I was around.
93 is when Undertow came out.
So that was a few years later. When did Downward Spiral come out? 92?
No, 94.
94, that's right. 94.
Yeah, in fact,
so that's too late.
That just had its 31-year anniversary like yesterday or the day before.
All right, millennial dad rock.
I'm a millennial dad. Let's go.
Here we go.
Linkin Park.
Yeah, they fit that.
Nirvana.
I wouldn't associate it with millennial, but that kind of goes to what I was saying with Nirvana. Just kind of their popularity just kind of spreads,
transcends.
It transcends it. But I don't think that'd be correct to put that in under millennial. It seems odd.
Limp Bizkit.
Unfortunately, I get it. No, dude. I mean, like, okay. When I was first getting into music, like hardcore, it's just that thing, you always gravitate toward the shit that came out like 15 years before you, whatever. So like, I was.
But why them over Korn?
Because Korn created nu metal, just like the Ramones created punk rock. I don't care what anybody from England has to say.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, whoever invents it, the pioneer, is the one who gets overshadowed by who comes after it. And I think that because of the personality
that happened with Slade
Fred
too.
Durst or whatever.
Fred Durst.
Fred Durst. These kids today, unironically, fucking love nu metal. But it makes sense because
they do.
I was super into grunge, and I was a kid. I was a little kid. I'm old enough to. I do remember when Kurt Cobain died, just because I heard it on the radio. My mom thought it was a huge deal. I didn't understand the context, but I'm old enough to remember that. But that wasn't my music. I was, a kid. But when I was a teenager, you go back to the stuff that was really popular 10, 15 years before. So the kids now that are like, oh man, 20 years ago, and you're thinking 20 years ago, 2005, gah, that's what they're into. So I could see that.
When the news was released, or the first blurb I heard, I was at lunch in high school, and I can't remember if I was a sophomore or junior, but we had gone for lunch. We had left campus for lunch, and I smuggled myself in someone else's vehicle because you weren't supposed to leave campus unless you were a senior. So I smuggled myself in someone's vehicle, and we were driving out, and the radio, they found a body in Nirvana singer Kurt Cobain's house in Seattle or whatever. It's like, that's weird. He fucking kill someone? Like, did he murder someone? Did he murder Courtney? Never put until after school when we got out.
Yeah.
And went home and watched MTV and was like, oh, it was him. It's like, it was weird.
Yeah, I found out as soon as I got home from school and rehearsal for the one-act play that I was in. It was at the opening headline on A Current Affair. You remember that show?
Yeah, and that weird sound effect that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That was the creepiest sound effect. Okay, the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for Millennial, Blink 182.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree with that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? That list, the only one I would change is Nirvana, just because I don't think, Nirvana makes way more sense to be part of, the Gen X generation. Millennials taking that one seems odd.
Yeah, because,
I feel if anything,
it was in the heart of Gen X.
I think for freaking millennial dad rock, why is Creed or Breaking Benjamin not in that? The butt rock era, butt rock is straight up millennial all day.
Well,
and is this where it's getting into Gen Z?
Gen Z, the big four of Gen Z. So,
do they have rock bands?
It says here the following bands are who we considered the big four of Gen Z dad rock, as they were popular with teens between the years 2010 and 2025.
Okay. My daughter being one of them.
Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay.
Still huge, still selling out arenas and everything.
Yeah.
Shinedown. This band I don't know.
They're butt rock.
Or get, and they're fixing to come through, I think, and playing Dickies or some shit.
I remember them being on the radio a lot, like in 2006 to 2008.
Is this the band?
Yeah, The Sound of Madness was the biggest album around that time.
Hold on. I may have got a text message from...
And then they had their first big single that put them on the map was called 45, and they were saying that it was banned on MTV because there's no other way that they could censor the lyrics or the subject matter because it was too heavy.
All right.
It's about suicide or having suicidal thoughts.
No, it wasn't. I got a weird text message from your former drummer the other day.
Which one?
Chris?
I didn't know about this. I talked to him pretty often over Messenger.
So he said, he told me that he went to Denver to see Disturbed, 3 Days Grace, and Seven Dust, and was going on about 3 Days Grace and how great their show was and everything. And I was thinking that was Shinedown, because isn't Shinedown with Disturbed or something like that on part of this tour?
Maybe it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, Shinedown's from Florida. Let's see, 3 Days Grace. They're Canadian.
They are?
Yeah.
Huh. What are they so mad about?
I don't know, but I know that their lead singer used to be addicted pretty hard to OxyContin.
They're so pissed about tariffs. They're opening for Disturbed. I was trying to get this to pull up real quick. But anyway, so Shinedown, Avenged Sevenfold, then you have...
Andrew likes Shinedown.
I don't know anything about this Shinedown. I know where you can get your Shine box.
From Sky Viper.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Ugh.
5 Finger Fruit Punch.
5 Finger.
I don't like that band at all.
I never have either.
Yeah, this
never really did anything for me.
They never moved the needle.
Nope.
Never got you going.
I heard, they always said 5 Finger Death Punch is military wife rock.
Military wife rock. That's a new one by me. Oh shit!
What is that? What they is that what what's playing when they're banging other when their husband is deployed and the other guys are still on the base?
You know, it's just if you see a vehicle with like a tattered American flag decal on one of the windows, safe to say Five Finger Death Punch and Monster Energy drinks are really into that.
There's a guy about a block from here.
I'm aware.
That on his back window is a gigantic brass knuckle sticker. That has the letters, FFDP, huge across the back. That's what I always think of.
Dude, Drywall hates to see that guy coming.
Hates to see him.
Oh, Andrew saw him on a USO tour when he was still active duty.
All that adds up. And then the last one here for the fourth one is Greta Van Fleet.
Okay, that one for Gen Z.
In Gen Z,
I agree.
Okay,
I agree with that.
I could see that.
Yeah, this list is pretty on, I think, for rock bands.
My favorite thing about Greta Van Fleet is forever people are like, bring back real rock. I want bands that sound like Zeppelin, and then they make a literal Zeppelin carbon copy. Like, not like that.
So the only band...
I don't get the hate, man. I mean, let them have their thing. I mean, Led Zeppelin's been done. They're not going to come back.
The band that was famous for taking other music and just
repackaging
I mean,
there's that too, yeah.
Like Led Zeppelin, at least
But they won the lawsuit though.
They and at least Led Zeppelin, they changed it up enough to where it's like, okay, it's an old blues song, but we're doing whatever. Greta Van Fleet is just like, is this like a Zeppelin like C-side that I didn't know about? Like,
or tribute.
Yeah,
I remember seeing them once when they were first getting started. They opened for someone over at House of Blues, and I actually thought it was a School of Rock act opening up for a band because School of Rock acts always play Zeppelin stuff, and I was like, oh, this is cool, School of Rock band, and they're really into it and everything, and I didn't know it was really.
They were all in their late teens when they got started. Well, not got started, but whenever they
were all kids.
Yeah,
they were all, and that's
like I said, late teens. Yeah,
that's what else added to it was I was like, okay, that's cool, School of Rock act, and I kept waiting for members to change out like School of Rock shows do.
Did you guys see how the guitar player from the movie School of Rock got arrested for he's in jail because he was stealing guitars from Guitar Center?
Really?
Yes, look it up.
Shit.
Like he literally was arrested for trying to steal a Les Paul from a Guitar Center, and everyone's like, they're like, man, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore, and he went for it. Yeah, straight up the School of Rock dude stealing guitars.
Yep, sure was.
Dustin, you remember that? This was like
Zack Attack.
Yep.
Sounds like somebody we know.
You got it, and I think it was like a cherry red Les Paul Studio. It's like, bro, you're getting arrested for stealing a studio? Come on.
It says he played. Oh wait, he played an $800 Les Paul Epiphone Prophecy. Oh. After a few minutes, however, he ran out the store with the guitar without having paid for it.
Stick it to the man.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny if he took one of those cheap ass Les Pauls with the two single coils? Did you used to have one of those?
Les Paul with a single coil? I had a Melody Maker that had a single coil.
Yeah, no, these were like a cheap ass $200.
Oh, I know that one. No, I did not have that one. But I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
He stole it. Wait. Hold on. Relax here. Hold on.
Okay.
He stole it from Troll Music on Venice Beach on February 7th. And then it says he also stole a $1,900 guitar from Sam Ash Music Store on February 11th. So he's just going through there.
Heck yeah, man.
Now, I've told this story a few times, and I'm not going to say any names, but I do know someone that stole a guitar from Guitar Center Arlington. I wasn't there at the time, but in the age of Jinkos, he was dicking around on this Fender Telecaster, nice, and just kind of playing around. And when no one's looking, shoved the neck down his Jinkos, had the body up at his chest, and he had a hoodie on and Jinkos. Walked right out the store with it.
Proper use of Jinkos.
The time I saw him with it, a little while later, he showed up at a mutual friend's house and was like, "Hey man, just got this guitar," and sits down and starts playing it and stuff and sticking around. I'm like, I knew him very well, and I knew his financial situation, and I went, "How did you just afford a Telecaster like that? It's all badass." "Oh no, I just shoved it down my Jinkos, walked out the door." What the fuck?
It's quite the use of free
Yeah.
will.
Oh man.
So Shinedown is coming to Dickies. They're headlining with openers Bush and Morgan Wade.
Bush.
I'm surprised Bush isn't headlining. They've been together all longer.
August 28th. Well, apparently Shinedown slaps and is way harder. According to Andrew. Shinedown slaps. So those are the big four of different generations. Kind of wild.
We've completed the list.
We have completed the list.
I'm surprised Ghost isn't on there because they're popular amongst.
That was going to be my millennial one.
Yeah, because my daughter's hardcore into Ghost. Yeah.
And when I went and shot them last time they were here, I was shocked at how many kids were there. Like young kids all over the place. And I was like, oh, they're into this wannabe Kiss stuff.
Theatrical, themed rock, yeah.
Because the first time I saw Ghost, I was creeped out. And this was when they were evil and scary.
Oh, this is probably around the first or second Papa.
It had to be the first one. They opened for Mastodon and who else? Was it Primus, maybe? Or Opeth, one of them.
Opeth, yeah.
But they came out with the song, the Eyes Wide Shut organ music from the orgy scene.
Yeah, I can't remember the name
where
of
the
that
guy's
song.
playing, and he came out swinging Sage from the Pope ball thing.
Yeah.
And they all came out, and I was like, this is creepy as fuck. And the music was creepy then. And then I was like, all right. You know, they came back through a few times, didn't see them. And then when they came through and played Toyota, I was excited to shoot them, and it was all pop crap music. And I was like, well, this ain't evil. I think it was them with Amon Amarth.
Yeah, I've only heard their. I guess I'm not privy to Ghost really. I've heard their newer stuff, but I remember thinking it was like this is a band that looks a lot heavier than they actually are. Like just if you just as your image, you know.
Yeah.
Like Kiss, they look heavier than they are.
I was very disappointed. I was very and Stubbs was with me at that show, and he's like, "This is I forgot what he called it." Like Kmart metal or Walmart metal or something like that. Like this is totally generic, totally horrible, awful.
What's y'all's hottest, most controversial music opinion that you will die on that hill alone by yourself, but you stand by it?
Oh, I've got one.
All right, yeah, you go ahead because I got to think of one.
And Stubbs gives me hell for this, but had another band released Saint Anger, people would have lost their shit over it. And been like, oh man, this is the dirtiest, nastiest album, and it's right there with Jack White and the White Stripes and all that, and how
it was their new metal record when new metal was at its peak.
I would align with that.
If anybody else would have released that record, but since it was Metallica and it was meant to be perfect, and then
first record without Jason.
Yeah, it was,
and it was. And the snare sound, everybody gives it shit for snare sound, but then you go back and you hear some stuff, some snare sounds now. Like I can't remember what I was listening to the other day, and I meant to take note of it, but I was like, this is the same exact fucking snare that's on Saint Anger, and everybody loves this fucking song. Like, what's the deal? It was the same pop, the same ring, but I think if like some brand new band or some like Greta Van Fleet band came out with that again. Or something, I don't know. Okay. It would have been hailed as, oh my God, this is amazing.
That's a good music take. That's a good hot take. I like it.
Yeah. But since they did it, it's shit. That's my hot take.
Yeah, I don't know if I have one that's quite up there.
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Maybe I'll help you. My hot take that I will die alone on, that no one will agree with me. I sincerely think that the Weezer record Maladroit is better than Pinkerton, and I will die on that hill.
I'll have to fight you on that one because I love Pinkerton.
And I think,
love Pinkerton.
and when I say that, people think they're like, "Do you hate Pinkerton?" It's like, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Pinkerton's fine, but I also think it's important to recognize that Pinkerton is loved retroactively. When it came out, everyone hated that album.
And I loved it when it came out.
You were the unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it came out, I loved that first single off of it.
Which was El Scorcho?
No. Was it? No. I don't want to be an old man anymore.
The Good Life.
The Good Life.
Yeah.
Because I loved everything about that song
Mhm.
and thought it was fantastic. And then they released that single, and then I got the album. I was like, this album's freaking rad. It's cool.
It's a really good record.
And I've always loved it. I've loved it more than, the Blue record.
Yeah, and it's, again, great record. I think the reason why I leaned Maladroit was Maladroit is, without question, objectively, the heaviest guitar tones Reezer's ever recorded. That record, is like, this is like metal guitar tones. Like, it's thick. And when I was a kid learning to play guitar, hearing that kind of stuff, and Rivers is just ripping on that whole record. Like, he plays a lot of guitar on it. So I think it's definitely what drew me to it. But I really liked a lot of the songs, and I think it was, Rivers is known for his very odd or unique lyrics at times, stuff that you kind of sometimes would, grab your collar like, but I thought Maladroit had the least of that. So it's, again, I'm going to be alone dying on that hill, but I'm aware of it. But I could listen to that record. I guess it takes me to a certain point. I love them both, but I just love the sound of Maladroit.
Where do you put Make Believe?
Ooh. Well, in the Weezer canon of 20 records, Make Believe would probably be in the best case scenario 15 to anything beyond, 15 and backwards.
I really liked Make Believe, but I think it's because I loved, Beverly Hills is on there, whatever.
Yeah.
That song's kind of cheesy, but Perfect Situation.
Perfect Situation.
Yeah,
is good.
that's a great one too.
And that's a good song. We Are All on Drugs is a good song.
That solo guitar tone coming in there at a Perfect Situation right at the beginning, I love that tone. That tone is absolutely amazing. And then you have Alicia Cuthbert in the video. And that really helped.
Yeah,
yep.
That's true.
That really, really helped.
Where is she now?
She's not next door.
Yeah. Not in my basement. Locked up.
I thought the White Album was great. Weezer's White Album was really good.
The White Album was pretty good. I didn't like the Black Album. I didn't get into.
And that's one of their things.
And I didn't get into Pacific Daydream that much.
No, I like the song Mexican. I like Mexican Fender, but that was it.
You have a song called Mexican Fender?
Yep.
That's funny. I have a Mexican Fender P-Bass.
They wrote that for you.
The Teal album's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because I like listening to their interpretations of things. And I was really aggravated about Van Weezer.
Van Weezer?
Yeah, their last record. Because I was really hoping it would
I thought it'd be great. Well, because the song, Beginning of the End, the one that they cut for the movie, not the one on their album, but Beginning of the End is a great song. And their first single was cool, and I was hyped for Van Weezer also. And then the album came out, and it was just it was not it. No, but that's Weezer. They
they get you all excited, and let's see here if this will work. It won't kill us.
And they say the Weezer fans are like Star Wars fans. Nobody hates Weezer more than Weezer fans.
I have walked out a few of their shows.
Perfect Situation.
This freaking, it's so dirty and nasty and right on the edge of completely falling apart. I love it.
This tone is very similar, and this was the record right after Maladroit, because I thought my favorite Weezer guitar solo is the song Take Control from Maladroit. That solo is like dirty and
nasty, yeah.
But this record and that record have a lot of similar tones, just like a Marshall on the edge of just blowing up.
Of falling completely apart.
Yeah.
Sounded like shit. But yeah.
A lot of people wrote Weezer off after Matt Sharp left and decided to make the Reynolds his full-time thing.
And when did that happen?
Right after he left after Pinkerton in '98.
Yeah, he was gone before Green Album.
Yeah. And then Mikey Welch was the bassist on that album. He's dead.
Yeah, it happened not too long ago, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
a few years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They did a show. I shot
can't remember their current bassist's name.
them with the Pixies probably 10 years ago. And I can't remember what album they were promoting or whatever, but they came through and played Starplex. And I walked out of that show.
I was at that show. Pixies and Weezer together?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was at that one.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
And it was shortly at, like, I guess the Pixies were starting to pick back up, rolling steam.
Yeah.
Because Melissa was playing bass with them?
Paz was playing.
Paz was.
Paz was
Okay,
playing
yeah,
bass
at that
with
point,
you.
yeah.
Paz Lenchenton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And they were boring. And I love the Pixies.
Yeah.
I love the Pixies.
Yeah, I've seen Pixies like 4 times.
Yeah, that was one of Kurt Cobain's biggest influences.
Yeah. And Paz just got kicked out of the band last year. So
really,
now their bassist is someone else. I don't know who they are. But
I'm surprised Kim Deal's not touring with them. That she was their original bassist, right?
She left a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like when they kind of reformed, they did that reunion tour.
Yeah.
And they played Grand Prairie.
Oh,
and that was it.
The Texas Trust Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
formerly Nokia, formerly Verizon.
Technically, Paz is the longest tenured bassist in Pictures history.
Yeah.
Because she was in the band for like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
They kicked her out last year. She didn't exactly know why. I saw some rumors on Reddit that she had some interesting tweets about like that were like you could, I suppose, like viewed them as like anti-vax or something. And it wasn't not long after that she was removed from the band. I don't know if there's any validity to that, but that was something I read about.
You know what? Okay. If that's true, the Spin Doctors, their longtime bassist, their original bassist Mark White, they kicked him out because he was an anti-vaxxer.
Really?
Well, not necessarily that, but he chose not to get the vaccine, and they're like, "You got to go, dude."
Well, a bunch of bands were doing that at COVID time.
Yeah,
that is kind of silly. Like
looking back,
either we won't tour or you're out of the band.
Yeah.
Or you can't go on this tour. It's kind of weird. I was speaking of bass players. I was reading the other day that like Fieldy hasn't talked to anybody in Korn.
I read that too.
In almost a decade or something like that.
Yeah, I forgot he was out of the band
like,
that long.
I forgot too.
I thought
damn it,
is he out of the band? Or I thought he was still in the band. Like he still plays with them. They just don't talk at all. I don't know. Maybe I read it wrong.
No, he hasn't
gone
on tour, stage, nothing with them.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he's like the only reason that I even got into Korn to begin with because I loved his bass tone. I actually bought his 5-string silent gear, which I still have to this day, so I can play his bass lines.
Over there.
And you have yours too.
Yeah, I thought you got into it because you like songs about dad touching you in weird ways.
No.
I thought you just hated Reebok a lot.
Yeah.
That was Adidas.
Yeah,
Adidas.
Yeah, because you're pro Adidas. You hated Reebok.
Adidas.
So.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I never owned a pair of Reeboks. I had Kmart shoes.
So if they kicked Paz out, and Josh isn't doing anything, and Billy's not doing anything,
it should be a band of nothing but bassists.
It's time to get a Perfect Circle to tour again.
No joke.
Yeah.
Well, they'll have to catch Foo Fighters on their off tour because Josh Freese is playing with them.
Well, they're not doing anything right now. That's what I said. He's not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
Now they did do the Sincetta thing.
Yes, the Sesanta.
And they did 3 songs. This Perfect Circle, and it was fucking awesome. That was the highlight of the night. They need to continue that. Paz was there, wasn't she? Yeah. Need to get that going back.
Yeah.
Up.
Why don't they call good old Twiggy? Jordy White.
Yeah. Let's tap the brakes there.
Even though he only played with them on one album.
Yeah, but he's had a lot of crazy. I think the allegations were made true.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything recently.
Locked up one of his girlfriends in the basement, forced her to do things. So let's just.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tap the brakes.
I say
that's not good.
We just hands off the Manson camp.
Yeah.
We're just gonna.
Yeah.
Push them off. Which Manson's coming again? I don't know. It's weird. I've got an audio. We got a little voicemail thing, and I don't know if I should. like I want to play it when Stubbs is here, but I don't know. Maybe play it twice. I don't know. It's sent over to us. What should I do? Chat room. Y'all are in there. Should we play it now?
We have 1%.
Should we save it for next week? Those numbers are never right.
Oh,
ever right. I guess I could play it now, and then we'll play it when Matt's here too. This was sent over today, because it kind of concerns Matt. So anyway, here we go. Let's see if this will work. Stop.
Ringing. The phone is ringing. Oh, we're on. You got the call? Hey, hello. Hey, this is Paul Stiffbean, Senior Data Analyst for Pentagon Enforcement Network Intelligence Systems. I'm at a conference in D.C. with the Doge nerds as our heads of state, and we just got done with the declassified brief out about Russia disinformation, and JJTM came up. You guys are really stroking the goose, baby. I'm not sure what that Stubbs is stuffing in his pipe, but you got to shut him up. We're getting communiques from the Putin's people over here. The last episode, they heard it. Apparently, they believe he's trying to use reverse hypnosis to garner Ukrainian support or some shit. Bottom line is, you got to find a way to lick your elbow without shaking the aardvark and punching a hole through America's farty box. We got your eye on you, boy, down there in Texas. So just watch your screensaver you're licking, all right? Shit.
I don't even understand what half that was.
Drunken rambling.
That reminds me of the voicemail that Mike Judge got to invent the character of Boomhauer. Like, unrelated, but
that's pretty close.
That's pretty close. That could be, yeah.
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 Susie's like, what the hell?
Yeah. I've listened to this, like, I don't know, 13 times today, if not more, and had no idea what the hell was going on. We got to punch America through the fart box?
That's what I heard too.
And don't grab an armadillo while you're licking your elbow or something,
Or
an aardvark or something.
Lick your screensaver or something like that.
Yeah, stop licking your screensaver. I don't know. I was hoping Stubbs would be here so he could help translate. Maybe this is in his mother tongue.
I think he's been too sober for a little too long to be able to decipher.
I don't know. We're gonna need his help, so we'll definitely have to play it next week.
Okay.
Last up.
Give him a crack at it.
Do you watch Formula One?
I do not.
God damn it! See, there's no one here tonight to talk Formula One with.
I could pretend I do.
I know that you guys talk about Lewis Hamilton a lot. He's like one of their big stars, isn't he?
He's he's the GOAT. He's a 7 times world champion. He's won double podiums than the person behind him.
No shit.
He's a badass. Yeah. He's the greatest of all time in our generation.
So he's like our
Verstappen's
generation's
trying to come
Mario Andretti equivalent.
Yeah, but Mario wasn't even that good. Like, no one's been this good ever. And he changed teams over to Ferrari this year, and it's his first year at Ferrari. He left Mercedes after 12 years, went over to Ferrari.
Damn.
And Drive to Survive came out this past Friday on Netflix, season 7.
Which is their like documentary, like tell-all, isn't it, about the Formula One?
Yeah, about the last season. They go
Seasons?
through
Yeah.
the whole last season of racing to get you prepped up for this season. Kind of tell you, there's a bunch of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you don't see during the regular race season.
Oh, I believe it. All the coordination and event planning and all that. I don't doubt it.
Well, even a lot of the backstabbing and people talking shit at each other, and the teams trying to vie for other drivers and get them because their contracts are up.
Do you think any of that's scripted though? Because it's a documentary.
No.
Really?
No, because basically everybody hates Netflix being in their business, and they've all said that they hate Netflix being around, and they try to hide as much as they can. And they'll turn off their mics and stuff, or tell the cameras, "Don't come around here while we're doing sensitive things."
Well, yeah, that's respectable. I mean,
and none of it's Netflix as far as it being quote unquote scripted. Maybe Netflix will make a bigger drama out of something that's not really drama.
Yeah.
Or they'll blow something up that was really no big deal just to make it,
sensationalized. Yeah.
There you go. Sometimes they'll do that, but this season was actually pretty good. Like, it was pretty dead on because they didn't need to. There was so much stuff that happened last year in racing that it was wild. Well, the actual race season starts this weekend in Melbourne, Australia. first race. The practicing starts, I think, our time tomorrow or Thursday. I have to look, and then it qualifying will be Friday night, our time, and then the race is at 11 p.m. on Saturday night. I know that for sure. Late. So instead of having to get up because it's in the UK somewhere and watch it at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, because they're
You
6
could stay
hours
up
ahead
late.
of us. Yeah.
Yeah, you could stay up late and watch it, on Saturday night. It's going to be crazy because I don't know if y'all seen this. That part of Australia is getting whacked by a cyclone.
Oh,
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. Like it's tearing shit up over there.
I didn't know that.
And they're calling for rain, and unlike other sports, auto sports like NASCAR and shit like that, Indy, they'll race in the rain.
F1 races. In the rain?
F1 will race in the rain, and
Oh.
they may not be going 200 miles an hour.
Yeah,
they'll turn it down to about 170, but they will race in the rain.
It's ill-advised.
Unless there is massive pooling of water on the track, that's the only time they'll red flag it. But they will keep going, even if it's pouring down rain. And so there's a 90% chance that it will be rainy, and it could start midway through the race, which is the way the forecast is calling for. We're still quite a ways away for it to be, spot on the forecast wise, but it could be interesting because there's like 11 new drivers on the grid driving these cars in the worst conditions possible.
Yeah,
like welcome to start the season.
If you want to see several $1 million lost, this could be the race to watch.
Well, I mean, if they sell enough tickets or have enough viewership, then hopefully it'll justify any of those perceived losses.
Formula One's a different world when it comes to money.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's not.
It's the
It's the elite of the elite, and it's not. It's not NASCAR. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not even like Indy. They'll say, we're the fastest sport on earth because they do go a little bit faster, but the money's not behind it like this.
No. F1 is worldwide.
Yeah.
It's like the soccer of auto sports.
Yeah.
Football.
So yeah, the season starts this weekend. It's all sorts of craziness. There's all sorts of subplots and different drivers under different teams now that are hoping to do good.
Unrelated, but
good.
I noticed did you see that Man U's leaving Old Trafford?
Yes. Have you seen the mock-ups?
Yeah, it looks like a circus tent.
Very circus tenty.
Which makes sense because that team is a circus right now. But
bunch of clowns running it.
United, not City. Yes.
Yeah, United.
Yeah, United. We
City's the only team. Stubbs is the only one that cares about City.
Yeah, I'm the United fan, and I am highly disappointed in the last few years of this team.
Can you sing the Manchester United song?
My baby takes a morning train. I know that at least. What movie was that from?
Eurotrip.
That's right, Eurotrip. That's right.
I tried finding it after she died because it was up to stream.
I have it on DVD.
Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah.
I have it on DVD.
It's not available to stream, and I was pissed.
No, I have it on DVD, baby. I watched it the other day.
Susie just chimed in about probably one of the teams she can't believe she has to cheer for Charles Leclerc.
You don't have to.
Charles Leclerc.
You gotta do what Randall Pink Floyd wants to do, man.
Yeah, you just go for Lewis. Just cheer for Lewis. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting. It'll be like last year. I was kind of worried that last year was gonna suck because 2023 sucked because it was just Max winning everything, Red Bull winning everything under the sun. But yeah, this year with all the shakeups and new cars and stuff, it'll be good. And then next year we get Cadillac is joining. There will be, instead of 10 teams with 20 drivers, there will be 11 with 22 drivers.
Cadillac's entering the race.
And Audi takes over.
Cadillac, interesting.
Cadillac has had a huge racing career. That's a big racing team.
I never knew that. I only
can't wait to see.
I only associate Cadillac with the the actual cars you see on the road.
Yeah, I can't wait to
You
see
have
an
GM's
Escalade-shaped
luxury.
F1.
Yeah, no, in the like GP1 and all that classes, Cadillac has been a huge racing.
I never
vehicle
knew
for
that.
years. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. So, anyway, makes me feel like I need to. Yes, Fred is the principal, and Susie's going to get behind him. Nice Italian gentleman. Anyway, that's Formula One talk for this week. And I think we've reached the end of this program.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming, Kevin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks
Kevin,
for
thanks for coming over and hanging out.
That was fun.
Filling Stubbs' seat. You're more than welcome to come over anytime, man.
I would love to. Just let me know when, and I will definitely make time. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and since found out you're just right down the street.
Yeah, this was took me 15 minutes to get here at most. I was like, piece of cake.
Hell yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll get you in here and hang out sometime when
Bring more
Stubbs is here too.
I bring more controversial Weezer opinions and
shocking Weezer opinions, just over the top.
I'll wear my Chelsea shirt next time.
Oh yeah, that'll cause mayhem with both of us.
I don't give a shit.
But you still never said your shocking music opinion.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't really say this is shocking, but I will not listen to "And Justice for All" unless it's an enhanced bass version on YouTube. Any of the songs from that album.
You know what kind of pissed me off is when they did that anniversary remaster.
And they didn't change the mix at all.
They didn't change the mix at all. At all.
Lars must have total control over that.
That kind of pissed me off.
Because I've heard that he was actually the one that advocated for them to turn down the bass so low in the mix.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, but I'm glad that the particular title of the YouTube enhanced version of that album I listened to has a tagline for "And Justice for Jason." That one to me has the best mix.
The best sound.
Yeah, because some of them are just way too fucking loud.
And then
the bass track is.
Everybody get those tracks from like Guitar Hero?
Yes.
Because Guitar Hero had all the multi-tracks.
Oh, wow.
And they ripped the game disc, got all the audio off of there, and then went in and made their own mixes.
That's cool.
Kind of genius.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of genius. Where there's a will, there's a way to hack whatever you want. All right. Well, we're out of here this week. Thanks for listening, and night-night.
Red pants.
Are we clear?
Yeah, I think we're clear. I'm stopping the stream. See you, Susie.
Okay.
See you, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew, we're going to have to play that again next week, though, too. It's pretty damn funny.
All right. Stop.